We're live.
All right, guys. So you wanna run an intro, Ty?
Yeah, sure. I'm DM Ty. I'm playing in this game. Actually, I'm not DMing this time. Our DM today is the illustrious and wonderful DM Dave, and we are going to be playing in his one shot titled "Strange Town, Strange Traditions." Right?
Yeah.
Um, I'll be playing Zook Dabrin. He is a forest gnome wizard, level 1 with that awesome AC of 12 and those 7 hit points. Who has a bit of a troubled past, but he's also a bit of a trickster. So I'm excited to be playing him.
All right. Let's Charles. Who are you playing?
I am playing Tamrose Carter. He is a human cleric. Um, he lived a life of seclusion. He was meant to be a sacrifice for his parents' cult, kept in pretty much a cage. But he was rescued by a paladin of, I can't really pronounce it, Illimeter or
Ilmater.
Ilmater. Yep, of Ilmater. And he was originally going to be trained to be a paladin, but he was too weak and frail from his 16 years in a cage, so he decided to go the cleric route. And he likes baked goods, hardcore.
All right. Let's move on to Dan.
Alright. I'm going to be playing Inder Milfurian. He is a half-orc barbarian. He used to be a pit fighter, but now he just wants to spend all his money in bars and try to entertain himself in his retirement.
Nice. And let's do Grit.
I'm playing Nicholas Angel.
Oh god.
Crap. Police Constable Nicholas Angel, born and schooled in London, graduated. Screw it. I'm not gonna read that quote. It's too long. Yes, directly from Hot Fuzz, as best I could. Firm upholder of the law, may or may not be a little bit of a dick about it.
Okay.
I love that.
And I have a friend in here who's a fan of the movie. He recognized it immediately.
I've never seen the movie, so your character is going to be my total perception of it. And all right, Jim. Who are you playing?
I'm Davis, the halfling rogue. I'm poor. I didn't spend more than 10 gold on anything. Let's see. I have no idea who my parents are. I was left as a ward. Bad luck follows me around. My orphanage burned down. I ended up being picked up as basically a servant boy for a low the underworld kingpin, not necessarily the rich kind. And he found that by keeping me around, he started calling me his good luck charm. It's because of him that I'm equipped as I am, that I have anything to my name. And recently, he has been killed.
All right. So we'll go ahead and get this show rolling. So each of you level 1 adventurers, give whatever your history may be, you're kind of new to the game, following the road to see where your journeys will take you. All of you find yourselves in the town of Woodhaven. It's inland from the coastline, which you've been following for the past few days. The only town in the area, it's about a 2 days plus journey to the nearest settlements. So you all find yourself spending the night to recoup and rest within this small little settlement. And so we'll say all of you but, oh man, Charles, Tamrose? Thomas?
Tamrose.
Tamrose, all right. So all of you guys have, you traveled faster than this weak little cleric, so you're already in the town resting. And Tamrose we'll pick up with you moving into the town. So Tamrose, you've been following the coastline for the majority of the day. You started following the trails inland. You're traveling, and the land is going into deep pine forests, really thick, tall trees, been traveling through this really narrow trail until you reach an opening. By now it is approaching dusk. The sun is just peeking below the horizon, so you've got the last little bit of sunlight, and you find yourself walking through some wide open farmlands. You spot a small settlement. Looks like it's maybe a half dozen to 6 to 10 buildings in the entire settlement. So as you approach, notice that throughout the entire town there are banners hung, there are tables laid out with all assortment of goods on it, people are bustling about, there are lanterns lit everywhere, obviously preparing for some sort of festivities. And as you approach town, you're looking for some place to bed down for the night, trying to catch your attention of anyone that comes by. And you notice that there's one smaller priest roaming around the vicinity. So you, as this is comfortable for you, you try to engage him and figure out your bearings within the town. So this old priest is wearing kind of like a friar tuck style robe, just shuffling with his hands clasped behind his back, moving down the street.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to him and be like, "Hello, good sir. I see you of the clerical type, much like myself. I am looking for a place to bed down, as I am rather frail and do not wish to be out here this late."
So you startle the old man, and he turns around and he goes, "Oh, son, you're looking for the dented helm. I can't promise there will be a room, but they can get you a drink and some rest for the evening. Follow me." And so he puts his bony hand on your shoulder, takes you about 15 minutes to move a couple hundred feet down the street, and eventually you arrive. You see the small wooden sign hanging outside the dented helm, and as you approach, you hear just a din of people and activities inside. And walking through, you see a whole group of people inside this inn. You'll notice there's a half-orc sitting in a corner booth just downing flagons of ale, as well as a tiny gnome trying to be noticed at the bar by the barkeep, who next catches your eyes. It is a gray-haired, 5-foot-tall, 5-foot-round lady, beaten, weathered face, and she's got a corncob pipe sticking out of her mouth. Sees you come in and says, "Oi, have a seat. I'll be with you soon." Obviously busy and intent with the festivities. So the only seat you see is open next to this little gnome who has not been able to get her attention yet.
All right, I'm gonna go sit next to the gnome. I'm gonna introduce myself. Hello, I am Thamros. I see you're having a little trouble getting the barmaid's attention. Maybe I can help.
And this little gnome would turn and look at you. And if you looked very closely, you'd see peeking from beneath his hood a little squirrel that kind of just stares at you as well. And he kind of looks at it and starts chatting with it. And he looks back at you. He says, well, Nibble likes you, so I guess I can trust you, sure.
So,
The name's Zook, by the way, and I extend my hand to him.
Nice to meet you, Zook.
And I give him a nod.
All right.
Say, blast this height of mine. No wonder everyone calls me tiny.
And at this, the barkeep, the old lady, she comes back out again, leans over on the countertop and thrusts a dirty rag over her shoulder and says, "Hi, so what'll it be then?"
I'm gonna wave my hand to Tiny and say, "He was here first. I'll let him order."
And yeah, sorry, go ahead.
At this, she kind of leans over the counter, pops out her corncob pipe, and unknowingly just blows just a huge mouthful of smoke right in your face. Says, "Oh, I didn't even notice you. I'm sorry, little one."
And Tiny would be like, yes, quite favorable of that to do. Thank you very much for the face full of smoke. Is that a custom tradition, or?
"Oh, it's good for you. It'll put some hair on that chest."
And Tiny just kind of like looks at her and just shakes his head. And I may be small, but I'm no child. I would like your strongest gnomish brandy that you have, please.
Okay. And for you?
I'm gonna look at her and be like, I'm rather frail. I'll take your lightest Nomus brandy. And how about a cherry pie for the table?
All right. So she takes your order. She moves back into the kitchen to go ahead and prepare all this. And at this,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
you're good, Duke. What's up?
I was gonna say, before she leaves, Zook raises his hand one more time, and he says, also one in a shot size, please, for my friend here, and he points to the squirrel.
Okay, so she looks over her shoulder as you say that. Gives a little strange look, and later
And Nibble would give her a wink also.
she'll come out with a thimble just for Nibble.
Okay.
All right, so at this, a big burly man comes in, and he looks kind of like the brawny man, just as lumberjack as you can get. He's wearing flannel shirt with some well-worn jeans and a big manly beard. But you notice he comes up and he's limping, just like where he can barely even make it around at a reasonable pace. But other than the limp, looks like just one hell of an adventurer. Comes in and notices you two at the bar, clasps a mighty hand on the back of Thomas's shoulder and says, "You lads aren't from around here. What brings you to our wonderful town?"
And when he clasps his hand, you're gonna see me kind of flinch. And I'm gonna look at him and I'll be like, well, and this is gonna be a bluff. The festival, of course.
Okay. All right, so he'll go for that. He'll go, "Oh, good, you've heard of it. Which part excites you most?"
And you're gonna see like a kind of a cocky grin come over my face, and I'll be like, the baked goods and the bitches.
This cleric.
All right. So he'll just kind of look at you and say, well then, we'll see you around," and just turns away to.
I want to give him a salute.
So what are Nicholas and Davis doing in the tavern here?
Nicholas Angel will probably be just sitting in a corner reading the equivalent of a newspaper, drinking some cranberry juice.
Okay.
The guy reading the newspaper feels a flick on the back of his head.
He looks majorly annoyed, and is just trying, kind of like, don't react.
All right.
I guess I look on his face like that in major annoyment.
A few minutes go by and you feel it again if you don't look back.
He kind of gives a calm look back to see what's who's flicking him in the head.
You don't see anything. You just see a
Really,
barbarian in what looks like nice robes, almost like the Big Lebowski, like the dude, just like with his feet up on the bar with a bunch of beer bottles just stacked in a pyramid next to him. And he's just looking up at the ceiling.
Can I sense his arcane magic being used?
Oh, he's not using magic.
Oh, you're not? Oh, you're okay. I thought you were like mage handing him or something.
No, he's flicking beer bottle caps at him.
Nice.
Do I notice this?
You might. I'll roll stealth.
Yeah, go for
See
it.
if you can do that.
Nicholas Angel just kind of looks back and just sits back and starts reading his paper, takes a drink of his cranberry juice.
Got a 17.
So for my perception check, I got a 17 also.
Then you see me doing
My
that.
passive perception beats that.
Okay, so
yeah?
if I notice this, I use my mage hand to pick up a beer cap off the ground and flick it to the back of his head.
And he
Of
just like locks eyes
or-
with you, and he just nods. He's
Well-
like,
And Zook would kind of like give him like a nod also, kind of like don't pick on the small folk type thing, and give him a wink and then turn back to the counter and start drinking his gnomish brandy. He has no alcohol tolerance, by the way, so he's already getting tipsy.
he doesn't think that it's appropriate to read in a bar.
And let's see. All right, Davis, what are we doing?
Davis is sitting near where the stairs meet the ceiling, with a leg hanging off with between the banisters, just watching the room, not really trying to draw a lot of attention to himself, but just seeing everything that's going on. At one point, the lady with the corn cob looks over at him, gets him to get down. He slowly slinks down the steps, walks over, takes a seat at a table with a big guy beside him, doesn't pay any attention to the big guy, but just keeps watching the room, sitting at the table. While all this
right.
bottle cap stuff is going on, he gets kicked off of that table and moves over to another one, this time conceding to he'll have to sit by himself.
So as you move to the next table, the brawny man kind of takes center stage. He steps up on a little bench near the end of the stairway, getting the attention of the room. All right, everyone. As you know, tomorrow is the Midsummer's Day festival where we all celebrate the long night. I see many new travelers here. Thank you for making your way through our town. I do sincerely hope you will stay throughout our festivities tomorrow. I promise that a good time is in store with one hell of a night. Everyone make sure you get good sleep because bright and early the festivals begin. But before that, a round of drinks for everyone. Melvy, bring them out. And so with this, the old barmaid kind of sighs and heads back to start gathering up tons of pitchers. And everyone starts mingling, getting up from their tables, moving around, talking to each other as far as the locals. And Ender, you notice that this greasy, black-haired, tall, dark-skinned, real thick-bearded human comes up to you, and he's got a bright red-trimmed handled axe on his belt. He comes up and goes, "You're a big one."
Aye, friend. And that's a nice toothpick you have on your waist.
So this obviously pisses him off a little. He goes, "Toothpick! I'll have you know, my family's killed dragons with this axe." He slams it down on the table. He goes, I can chop down the largest tree in a second with this." He's just trying to come up with sounding cool and just totally failing.
Oh yeah. The trick to lying is not to overdo it, son. And he just doesn't. He's unflapped.
So at this, a shorter, kind of portly, round, grotesque, just like tree trunk of a woman comes up, pushes him out of the way, and says, "Silas, this one's mine." She sits down and...
When I
What's
see
up,
her
Charles?
walk up, I'm gonna offer her a piece of pie.
she's going to see how tiny you are and just walk straight past you, heading straight for this orc. And she pops down at the table and says, "Silas, this one's mine." She looks you straight in the eyes and says, "Have you ever played Punch Drunk?"
I can't say I haven't.
"Well, Melvy, bring us a couple pitchers." The barmaid comes up, sets down some pretty big flagons of ale in front of you, and she goes, "Unless you're not man enough, I think I can take you in Punch Drunk."
Well,
All right. I'm gonna see this orc, and I'm gonna come beside him and or behind him. I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder, and I'm gonna try to quietly cast bless on him. And I'm gonna whisper, "I think you got this."
Well, okay. I don't know the rules, but I'll pick them up as I go.
All right. So when you
Drops
agree,
the robe, just ripped.
oh, nice. How big are you?
Very big. His head might have hit the top of the door as he walked in.
Oh, that's perfect because she's like maybe 5'3", so it's one hell of a visual matchup here.
Oh, Zook is impressed and jealous.
So when you assent to this, she looks around and goes, "Oh, everyone! Big man thinks he can beat me. Who's got odds on me?" So Silas starts going around and taking some bets, and now all the focus for everyone is on you two.
Can I, do I notice the cleric doing a spell on me, or?
We'll see. Try a sleight of hand, Charles.
Unless you want me to know. Also, are you muted? Charles.
I'm
By the
sorry.
way, I bet 5 gold on the orc.
I didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
Did you want
me
Dan
to
to notice the
notice?
spell?
Did I want what?
Did you want Dan to notice the spell, or do you want to roll a sleight of hand?
Yeah, that's why I whispered to him.
Okay. Yeah, so you noticed, Dan.
All right. Then, in that case, he's gonna whisper back, "With everything you have on the woman," and he's gonna try to really
That
I am
works.
the best ever.
You're gonna see me drop a coin purse, and I'm gonna look kind of weird, and 70 gold on the bitch.
Ah! You are wasting your money, son, he says, as he's just popping like a powerlifter pose, is like "Rrrr." Like the guy from the Old Spice commercials. What's his name? Terry Crews.
Power.
So I'm gonna do a performance.
Nice. So let's see. Garrett, is Nicholas or Davis, you guys putting any money on these guys?
No, Nicholas Angel would frown upon betting.
No, not at all. In fact, I'm extremely impressed by the fact of 70 gold. That's a number that I've heard of more often than I've seen.
Yeah, so he's gonna try to drum up bets, basically.
All right. So
the crit! He's just he's so used to it. He's like a pro wrestler, basically. He's just like, I am the supreme champion of the world. Only
All
with
right,
a
so
Swedish accent.
you just amassed just an unbelievable amount of bets on you.
I just visualized him morphing into the Macho Man Randy Savage, and I'm just like, he's about to snap into a Slim Jim.
And this
All
is
right.
all before he knows what the rules are.
Yeah, haven't even touched that yet. So we take bet then, and there's we'll say 500 gold on the orc. You put on one hell of a performance. And the Norma, the lady, she's kind of pissed that all of her townspeople haven't even bet on her, and this just fuels her to win. So as far as pun drunk, it's kind of what you expect. You both drink a flagon of ale, then you punch each other in the face, and you do that over until someone gets knocked out. So you look each other in the eyes. Do you have any words before you get rolling against old Norma?
And he says, I am smarter than I look. And she's just going to be like, what? But I think the cleric knows what he's going to do.
All right. So you both turn up a flagon of ale. You down it. Now I want you to roll me just a flat con.
Okay. First few he's going to do straight up. Oh my god, he crit!
Okay. So you barely even notice it's a drink. Now, so you down that, slam it, and you just rear back just clock her straight across the face. Her head rocks back on her shoulders. Her head comes back, and she's got a little smile, and she comes right back with a roundhouse of her own. So I want you to roll me another con save and subtract 4.
Okay. Con save. So I'm proficient. 10.
Okay. All right. So you get a little stream of blood running down your cheek, and then it's to the next round. So down another flagon of beer, and you roll me one more con save.
Jesus Christ. It's rolling like a freaking bat out of hell. I'm trying to lose.
You're getting all your good rolls out of the way.
24.
All right, and then roll me one more con for the hits as well.
And that's -4?
Yeah.
12.
All right. So on this one, how do you want to describe your punch to Norma's face?
Would this knock her out?
This one does not knock her out.
Alright, so he's just like an uppercut, and you just see her go, just pulled up basically to his height and then drop back down. The force of it.
All right, and so I will let you flavor your own knockout blow from Norma.
And like as he like does the uppercut and pushes her up, almost hitting the ceiling with her head, she comes down with like a hammer fist on top of his head. And he knows that this is the moment to go down, and he goes down.
All right, so you're not down for long. You're just dazed a little bit, kind of like a UFC knockout. And I imagine the entire tavern just has this huge gasp, and some of the locals are like, "Oh, Norma doesn't disappoint."
Can I try something?
What is Zook doing here?
So Zook doesn't want to lose this gold. He's gonna cast Sleep on Norma.
Oh, you bet on her?
Can I,
Or on me?
Yeah, I bet on you.
Oh.
can I cast Bless on Norma?
Oh no, we're gonna say tiny sneaky here. So roll for sleep. What?
I think we both just get knocked out if that works.
That is 35 hit points.
All right.
Me too.
So we got Ender here, who's just got rocked from and he's just down, like head on the table. So Norma stands victorious for a moment, and then all of a sudden she just kind of topples and falls directly on top of Ender as well. So
You see Nibble and I give each other like a high five.
so at this, there's an even bigger gasp, and the guy who said Norma doesn't let down, the one next to him is like, neither did he.
You're gonna hear me shout, "The orc went down first."
So Royce will come up. He'll go, all right. We'll call this one a draw. We can do another match tomorrow. And he goes, you guys have had your fun. We'll see everyone in the morning.
The half-orc just like fakes like, oh, my head. He gets up.
So Melvie, the barkeep, she comes around, asks, as everyone starts filtering out, she throws a piece of meat at the orc. She's like, put this on, it'll keep it from swelling.
Oh, thank you.
And let's see, do you guys have anything else y'all want to do before the evening ends?
One more cranberry juice.
Nice. So she
Also, the entire time he's been looking around for anyone who looks underage.
I would like to get my 70 gold back, and I'm gonna shoot a look at this gnome like, you son of a.
Nice. All right, so you get your 7 gold back, and Zook is the one who hands it to you.
Did he see me cast sleep? Like, did he catch me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we'll
dang
say
it.
he saw
What
it.
was your roll?
It would have been like a little feathery kind of lightning kind of tickling from his feet down through the floor and up into her. But so I hand him his gold and just give him a smile, and I take my gold pieces that I won, and I just kind of walk back to my little cup of brandy, and I sip the rest of it, and my cheeks are red and my eyes are kind of like he's out of it, but he's just enjoying himself at this point.
A drunken sleep. That's perfect. All right, so if none of you have anything else to do, we'll say when the night passes, no problem. And we'll pick back up around midday, around lunchtime. You guys have slept off. Zook, you probably slept in quite a bit later than the rest of the people. And when you all move out of the tavern, the town is already up and running. It sounds like it's like a gigantic farmer's market. There are tons of merchants out there hawking their wares. People are dancing, music playing, and Royce gets all of you guys together. So this entire group here, you're the non-natives to the town, and he pulls you all in. He goes, "We appreciate you all for staying here. We want to invite you to join in all of our midsummer celebrations here, leading into the long night. If there is anything you need through the day, feel free to come get me. If you have any questions about our wonderful town, anyone here will be glad to help you out." And
I'm gonna ask him to point me in the directions of the potion merchant.
all right, so he points you over to a spindly, white-haired lady. She's got horn-rimmed glasses on. You can sense that she definitely got some magic ability to her. And he says, "That's Tananya over there. You can go see her."
All right.
And then at this, a tall, very dark-skinned, kind of Mediterranean woman comes up, very finely adorned robes, and she goes, "Ah, Royce," and she holds her hand up expectantly as if he's going to kiss it. She goes, "My dear, if you would please let me escort these kind gentlemen around." And Royce says, "Gladly. This gentleman, this is Elmina. She is our town's merchant's daughter, and she will show you all there is to be had in the summer's festivities." And let's see, do any of you guys have a special interaction for Elmina, or you want her to start showing you around?
I'm gonna introduce myself, and I'm gonna say, "Hello, I'm Thanros. I must get going as I got business with the potion merchant, but I'm sure we can catch up later." I'm gonna give like a little bow, and you're gonna hear a slight crack, and I'm just gonna like hold my back like an old man and just like shuffle over to the potions merchant.
Perfect. All right, and so any of you can bow out of following this lady around, but she starts off, she's kind of very hoity, aristocratic, expects you to do as she says, and says, "All right, if you would follow me, we will show you the Dragon Fire Challenge." And she starts taking you over to a big grouping of people that are all gathered around and oohing and eyeing. And so, as you get there, you notice that there's a gentleman there dressed in very fine robes. He's obviously some sort of salesman, and he's going all out for playing up this contest. He goes, "Welcome, gentlemen, to Dragon's Revenge. Please, anyone who wishes to partake, come forward." So a couple of the...
And you just see a green hand shoot up, and it's just like And you can see that he's head and shoulders above everybody else, but he shoots his hand up anyway. Like, ooh!
Perfect. All right. Anyone else going to jump up and volunteer for whatever this is?
If it's anything like Punch Drunk, he's not going to win.
Nicholas is just going to kind of sit back, and he's also going to look around for anyone doing anything illegal.
Perfect. So you let's see, Ender, you move up, and there's about three other local competitors in the Dragon's Revenge Challenge, and now the person in charge starts explaining the rules, and he basically contestants fill their mouth with a liquor, and then you're spitting it through a torch at a small little cloth target that looks like a knight, and whoever can fully incinerate the target gets a whole bag of 80 gold. So all you're going to do is roll a d6 real quick, Dan.
D6. 4.
Perfect. So you will be going third. So you see his first guy go up, take a big swig of liquor. He spits it, misses the target entirely, just spews almost right in the crowd, and flames streak over towards Tiny's robes. The second one goes up.
You son of a gun.
So this guy does even worse. This one singes the whiskers on Tiny's face. And then he begins to regret standing at the front of the crowd, but that's what you do to get seen, right?
I would promptly take one step back and look between the arms of several other people.
Okay. And now, Dan, I want you to roll to hit like a missile weapon.
Okay. He just like chuckles as he sees the gnome almost get incinerated, and then takes a swig. Ooh, 14.
All right. So that one makes it. Now let's roll me a 1d4.
D4. 4.
All right. So it looks like you actually know what you're doing. You've been trained in spit-based weapons because you just completely incinerate.
He does it for his like introduction. He'll drink like some liquor or something, just go.
He's proficient in
fighting.
alcohol flamethrowers.
He is proficient in performance.
All right, so that's going on, and while Ender is doing all this, we'll say Davis. There's a plain-looking brunette-haired lady who comes up, and you notice she's kind of pilfering through any bags or satchels or pockets that you have on you, just looking.
On me?
Yeah.
Does Nicholas notice this?
We'll see he's behind you for now.
Okay.
It's gotta be. This person's gonna have to be pretty obvious about it because I'm like 2'6".
Oh yeah, she's like bending down on a knee, very obviously.
Great. Immediately, for as rugged and poor as I look, a jeweled dagger is drawn out from under my cloak and right up against her throat. What is mine is mine. What is yours is yours.
So she
take your hand away from my bag, or I take your life.
She rocks back on her knees, and she's like, "Oh,
And I chase it forward. I move it forward. I'm not letting this go.
oh, I'm sorry, sir. No harm intended. That's and she just kind of loses fact that her life's in danger, and she's looking at the dagger. She goes, "That is mighty fine. Where'd you go to get that?"
I hide it back under my cloak. Never you mind. Go along, or I'll find somebody to tell your name to.
And so she's kind of scared, and she just moves off, and she sees a more approachable cleric. She goes up to talk to the cleric. She goes, "Oh, you're not from here. The name's Posey. Where are you from?"
Did I notice any of that?
Roll me a perception.
Alright. I got good perception. That's a unnatural 20.
All right, yeah. So you saw it plain day.
You're gonna see me keep my hands clasped in front of me, keeping an eye on her. Hello, Pussy. I'd offer you my hand, but I'd be afraid you'd steal something from my sleeve.
Oh, no stealing, sir. I just love seeing things we don't get to see much here in Woodhaven.
Can I roll insight on that?
Yeah.
At this point, I'm kind of looking around. I probably would have heard that.
Yeah, so you definitely keying in on this, Nicholas.
Alright, that's 13 on the insight.
Yeah, you tell she's
watching.
she's just genuinely curious. It's kind of like childlike demeanor.
How old is she? How old does she look?
Like 18, 19.
Now, child, you're not much younger than me, but you're much too old to be acting like this. I'm going to hand her 2 gold pieces, and I'm just tell her to keep out of trouble. I'm going to go back to talking with the potion merchant.
Seeing
Alright.
that you just gave her 2 gold, I walk up to you and tug on your robes.
You see me turn around, and you said you're like 6'3"?
No, 2-6.
Oh, 2'6". Okay, so I actually got to look down on you. I look down and be like, "Yes, my friend, may I help you?"
And I'm trying to recall what she said word for word. we don't see many people like you in Woodhaven. And I just hold out my hand at a loss for what else to say.
And, you're gonna see me lean in, and I'm gonna get pretty close to his ear, because I don't want anyone to hear this. If you're looking for handouts, maybe you could sell that pretty dagger of yours. Hmm?
It's not supposed to be sold.
So at this, you notice there's a blonde gentleman comes up carrying a whole tray just of baked goods, tarts, breads, loaves. He comes up, kind of holds it in your face. Says, "Hi, gentlemen. Glad to see you here. You must be new to the town. I'm Baxter, the baker. Please enjoy some of these on the house."
I'm gonna put my arm around Baxter. Baxter, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. We are going to be quite acquainted here. And I'm gonna look at the. Was I acquainted with the rogue yet?
Say what?
Was I already acquainted with you?
Sure, why not?
All right,
I'm playing with
let's
you.
look at him. And Davis, would you like some tarts? Maybe a cookie to fix your sour mood.
Do you like sweets?
And with that, I'm gonna gasp like, and then I'm gonna hurry the baker away from him, and I'm just gonna keep eating them as I'm walking, and talking with my mouth full. These are pretty good. I'll pay you for the recipe. Don't mind the halfling. He's kind of short with people.
I'm
All
liking
right.
this cleric. This is great.
So you go on and you have your fun halfling time, and Baxter just kind of he follows you, notices when the thing's getting a little empty, starts loading you up with some more baked goods and treats, and by this time the Dragon's Revenge Challenge is over, and Elmina's engaged with some other person in conversation, and you guys get to kind of wander around to whatever you like the appearance of. So you notice that there's a archery competition, and there's a arm wrestling competition, and then you notice that Silas guy with the axe has got a big crowd around him, and he's obviously going through some animated story where he's waving his axe in the air. So if anyone's overly interested in one, we'll touch on that for a brief moment.
I'd do the archery competition.
Right.
Haven't gotten to use a bow in a while. Special instrument.
So You get to an archery competition, and there's three poles set up, and real live looks kind of like Loki from the Marvel movies, real thin guy. He calls people forward, and you stand up, and it's you and 3 other guys, and you get 4 arrows, and he just says, "All right, gentlemen, whoever gets the most arrows in their target gets to move on to the semifinals. Have it you will." And so you'll just fire me like 4 ranged attacks.
Are we all using dice stream?
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
May Nicholas join in on this one?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's see. Huh. Do you want me to just roll them separately and tell you, or do you want me to just...
Yeah, you can just do them separately.
Okay, 9, 14, 17, and 18.
Question. Can I aid the halfling with a mage hand to lift the arrows and so they hit the target?
So he makes 3 of them on target.
Wait, I need to make one more.
And it looks like Nicholas might need it more. But
I'll help them both get to the semifinals. I'll help him on his terrible roll. It kind of like falls out, and then like as it's falling, it kind of like steadies, and like you see it like going up and down, like. And then it just kind of like
does the first one. He goes, "It's been a long time since I've had my hand on a bow." He goes again, releases. That second one's a 10, a 21, and an 18.
All right, so your 10 is kind of wobbling, and it almost veers direction through the air as Tiny helps you as you shake off the dust. But you both wind up sinking 3 arrows on target, so it's between you 2 and 1 other guy. So he goes, "All right, for the finals, you will each get 4 more arrows. Same rules. Whoever places the most on the target wins." And at this, there's a small little banner or a little wood burster, and there's a little kid who's just holding up a duck over the wood, and he's just running back and forth. So you've got a moving duck target that you're trying to aim at. So I want you both to roll me another 4 again.
Okay. 23.
Crap.
8.
All right.
18. And 7.
All right, and what do we...
I have
do we
a
got?
5, an 18, an 11, and a 16.
All right. So you wound up making 2 of them on target. And they'll call out, they'll say, "All right, our two newcomers to the town have tied for the finishing on the finals. What do we say to a sudden death?" And the crowd kind of erupts. And so he reloads you.
And I reach and I put my hand under my cloak. I'm ready for a fight.
So he goes up
He's
and
just kind of like this with these, like, go on.
And then I look around, realizing that nobody else. That's not what they meant. I take my arm out.
seeing this, he just hands you like 1 arrow, and he's like, "This is actually how we're gonna do it." And we're gonna do the same thing, but I want you guys to roll it at a disadvantage.
Okay.
You can hear me from the cloud, kind of drunk off cookies and tarts. Everybody else, shoot him in the face!
I rolled 2 17s.
Nice.
Dang it.
Okay.
I don't have this.
So as he hands you these arrows, he puts on a little blindfold over your eyes, and he spins you around in a circle and then stops you, so you're pointed right at the target. And Davis just boom hits this wooden target straight on there, and Nicholas manages to keep turning, and he releases his arrow, and it just pierces the ground and kind of pins Tiny's robes to the ground. And so
Tiny's kind of getting like the short end of the stick here.
Tiny's like eyes are bloodshot because he's hungover from last night. He's like trying to help people, and he's taking arrows to the robe. And you see him just like look at Nibble, and they both shake their heads at each other.
And when you were like purposely standing far away from the crowd to ensure nothing would come your way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like standing on the opposite end of the clearing, like just by myself, like my fist in the air, like yeah, you can do it. And then the arrow's like thunk.
Oh, so he calls out and he says, "All right, we have a winner." And he goes and hands a pouch of 40 gold to Davis. How does Davis respond to this?
Davis opens up the pouch, looks inside of it, plays with the gold like a dice bag,
Okay.
locks it up, looks at everybody, and while he's walking off of the field, is stuffing it down into a sack at his waist.
All right, and so Davis is just kind of, I imagine, goes sits in the corner and just guards his gold like Gollum. And,
Oh, yeah.
And the rest of the festivities go on for a few hours, and until you guys, unless you have something special you want to do, it starts approaching towards sunset.
I'm gonna go towards the baker, and I'm gonna talk to him. Now, you sir, you make some mighty fine tarts and cookies and such. I'd like to arrange a pie eating contest. What do you think?
Well, I tell you, we're about to get all the festivities ready for the long night. Aren't you excited to move into the long night?
You're gonna see me kind of confused as I'm gonna ask him, what exactly is the long night?
Oh, well, that's the best part of the Midsummers. And then he kind of trails off in his sentence and gets a little shook, and he goes, "Well, it's usually the best part of the Midsummers, but I don't know about this year." And he just kind of like trails off in his own thoughts.
I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder. No, you and me are practically brothers through pie. You can tell me anything. I'm gonna try to get more out of him.
So he looks up at you, and you see that he's got kind of flour dusted on his face and just on his clothes. He's been busting his butt all day. He goes, I just don't think I'll find anyone."
You're gonna see me look confused again and be like a girl? Because that's one of the main reasons I'm here. You fulfilled the first part.
Well, of course. I mean, that's what the long night is all. And as soon as he starts saying that, you hear Royce in the town square again goes, "All right, everyone, it's getting close to sundown, so we've got the final event. If I could, I would be honored if all of our newcomers to town could come forward. You're going to compete with our suitors and maidens."
Let's do it.
So does everyone decide to walk forward, or is like Davis going to still guard his gold?
Zook and Nibble exchange glances, like what the crap is going on, and they kind of like start shuffling forward, and then like all the competitions they've seen so far have been deadly, and they kind of start shuffling backwards again.
Okay.
Ender walks forward, and he just like burps smoke.
Nice.
If Tamros is going forward, then so will Davis.
You're also gonna see Emeros walk in.
Yeah, totally. He'll come moving up, not necessarily as fast, but once he catches up, he makes a point to stand next to Tamros.
And Nicholas will walk in.
Nice. Cool. So Royce guides you all to a different part of the town square. And this is on the edge of one of the farmlands, and you see it's a 50-foot by 50-foot square of fences, like a boxed-in area. And inside is just like, well, for Davis it would be about waist deep, but for most people it's shin deep, just wet, goopy mud. And he shuffles everyone into the pit. So good thing you stepped out, Tiny. That may have been rough for you. So, where do you position yourself around this pit?
Where do I?
Yeah.
As far away from everyone as I possibly can be.
Okay. So all of you go in the pit, and you notice that most of the people you've seen around town, the younger people of the town, there's equal almost numbers of girls and guys in there, and he addresses them as the suitors and maidens. And Royce gets on a platform right at the edge and says, all right, for all contestants involved, the event will begin. The only rule that applies is what you catch is yours. And at this, he opens a gate under the platform that he's standing on, and you notice that this gigantic pig comes running out of the gate. Pig is glistening. It's all lubed up with oil and grease, and it just takes off beeline straight through this pit. So I want everyone to roll me initiative.
All right.
Oh yes, the pig will be mine this day. Shouts. Ah, crap.
Do you want us to post it in chat?
Yeah.
I'm standing on the edge, but I'm still gonna do stuff.
Perfect. And if you wanted, you could run in under the fence to try it out.
No, I've got somebody else who's gonna help me.
Oh God, are you gonna have Nibble go for the for?
No, you'll see. You'll see.
Okay.
Nibble's gonna bite a different kind of nut.
All right, so we'll go Zook, and then Nick, Tamros, and then Davis and Ender. All right, so you guys are all spread out in this mud pit, and order of initiative will be your chances to grab at the pig. So first up, as you notice this pig run out, what is Zook doing?
So I kind of notice everyone in the pit, and I just like smile, like this is gonna be so fun. And I cast Unseen Servant, and I'm gonna command my Unseen Servant to stop everyone from getting near the pig.
Okay. Okay. All
so
right.
there's an invisible
Like
person.
playing pig.
Yeah, it's gonna trip you and knock you over and help the pig get away.
All right. So we'll say that.
So you would see kind of like sparks kind of pass between his fingertips, and they would kind of spread outwards as he tosses a couple ball bearings on the ground, and the ball bearings kind of like float onto the ground, and you see electrical form kind of come up like an outline of a person, which then disappears, and the ball bearings sink into the mud and start going through the mud.
Okay. All right. So
And that is all I will do on my turn.
I will give that to you. This is going to be interesting. Let's move to Nicholas. You're up next, and the pig is heading straight your way.
Is there a check involved to be able to save the unseen servant?
Nope. I don't remember what the rule for that. I think they're generally unseen. Do you guys remember?
If it's in the
invisible.
mud, right, it will be invisible, but it still takes up space. So there would be a hole in the mud, I guess.
Yeah. Well, roll me a perception check.
And I do have that passive, but okay.
Oh yeah, that's true. You do have passive of 20, and well, you know what? We got a 1 there, so you notice that there are some. You notice that there are some footprints.
It's actually invisible, mindless, and shapeless.
So it doesn't leave footprints.
No. Dang.
Darn it.
Zook just kind of like taps his fingers together, like.
I would probably at least see him doing that, and I'm sitting there thinking, you dirty bastard.
That was it ain't right.
So yeah, you notice him go through this movement, and then you just see a laughing gnome on the side of the pit, but you have no clue. All you know is you have this pig heading straight towards you.
Alright. I'm just going to make a run for the pig. Just do like a diving, like try to tackle it.
All right, so roll me a dexterity check.
Dexterity?
Yeah.
Alright. Save or just straight up check?
Just a straight up check.
Alright. That's a 7.
So as you go to dive for this, the pig, the last second, just ducks to the side, and you land face first in the mud.
Can I make a
And
save to like roll out of it as if I planned that?
yeah, go for it.
All right. I got an 8 on that.
Wow, not enough. We're gonna say you just plant flat, so your face is down in the mud, and we'll say you can stand back up that turn. But you can play it off as if you meant to land face first in the mud. And now we'll move to Charles.
All right. My plan is going to be, I'm going to look at this pig. Is it in my line of sight?
Yeah, it's because it ducked to the side, it's coming straight towards you now.
All right. I'm going to cast Bane as quick as I can on it. And I'm going to cast Bane on the pig, and then as soon as I cast Bane, I'm going to jump to the side to get out of the way.
All right, and what's Bane do again?
It's like the opposite of Bless, and it's a charisma check.
Okay. So what is I forget Bane. What does the pig have to do?
They have to roll a charisma save.
All right. Well, this is one hell of a charismatic pig. They got an 18.
Oh, God. Yeah, he passed.
The pig just winks at you.
The pig winks at you as it runs straight under your legs.
As I dive into this mud, I'm gonna lift my head from it and be like, "Well, it's cuter than my last girlfriend."
Oh, perfect. All right, and so running through Thomas's legs, he's coming up towards Davis.
Is he still next to Thomas? Or
Yeah, he just ran like under his legs.
Okay. Davis, not getting the point of this, reaches into his sleeve and throws a dart at it.
All right. So roll for the attack.
25.
Now, that hits. You can roll damage for this guy.
Great. That's 14 damage with sneak attack.
All right, so you throw a dart and this pig just drops down dead.
I then use my movement to walk over it and put my arms around it and look around.
So we slaughtered the town's pig.
All right, so
You would
At
see
this-
utter disappointment on Tiny's face. He's like, "Aw."
at this, the crowd, you hear another big gasp, and Royce is standing there, and he goes, "Well, what you catch is yours."
And then all he says is, "Fine."
Because we'll need a new festival pig for next year. and everyone just kind of walks away. I imagine just as Davis just stands there looking at everyone covered in mud.
I pull my dart back out of it, shove it into my sleeve.
All right.
And
So
that's
they-
about the time my unseen servant pushes him over, protecting the pig.
So you guys get ushered over. There's a place to kind of wash off and clean up. By this time, the sun has gone down. You notice all the suitors and maidens have disappeared. And once you guys get cleaned off, Royce pulls you over to the wood line, and he starts introducing to everyone. Or he starts saying to everyone that the events are about to go down for the long night. So you guys walk up, and he says, "All right, everyone, thank you for joining. Our maidens are getting ready as we speak. It's been another good year, and we have last year's midsummer celebration to thank. Hopefully this year leads many more to a bright future." And at this, the whole line of maidens, over a half dozen of them, walk out. They're all wearing white dresses. You notice that the Elmina, the merchant's daughter from earlier, hers is extremely ornate with lace and beads. And then the Posey, the girl who tried stealing from Davis earlier, is just a plain white sack. And they're all carrying a lantern. and they all line up on the edge of the crowd. And Royce calls out, he goes, "It's been tradition for as long as I can remember to send our maidens into the long night. You know we all say, if love won't find you, this is your chance, or if you don't find love, this is your chance for love to find you. So, without any more to say, ladies, best of luck." And at this, they all turn around and they wave at the crowd, and as one, they take off and move into the wood line. And it's starting to get into the darkness of night now, and as they move off, you get they all discuss for about 10 or 15 minutes, and then Royce calls everyone back. He goes, "All right, suitors, now for you. The ladies are out there. They're waiting to find their future soulmates." He holds up a drink to the crowd. He says, "To the long night. If love won't find you, go find it."
I hold up a jelly donut.
And so all the suitors take off and just dash into the woods. And there's more partying, there's music playing, people are dancing, everyone's having a good time. About an hour passes, and you've gone through about 3 dozen more tarts and pies. And Royce has come around and offered everyone some of their special whortleberry wine of the region. And it's been about an hour and a half, and no one's come back.
I'm going to break it up, and you can see I'm looking around, and I see no one who's entered the woods, and I'm gonna look at Davis, and I'm gonna tell the others I'm going to check out the tree line, see what I can see.
I will come with you, a tire of drinking. I've made a second pyramid already.
So can we count these festivities as being a short rest so I get my spell slot back?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome, cool. I have my spell back. All right.
So you guys can take off, and y'all start approaching the wood line. You notice as you're walking through the crowd, some people are like, "No one's back yet." You go, well, it hasn't been too long." And then you guys approach the wood line. What do you want to do?
Torch.
Do I see them leaving?
Sure, yeah.
I kind of like curiously follow them. I've been drinking a little bit too much of this wine though, so I'm a little bit inebriated. But I am following them, but rather dazedly though.
And same for Nicholas. Nicholas will follow, but he's not. He's maybe had like a glass.
All right. How about Davis? Are you still hugging your pig?
By this point, I would have tried to find somebody to help me cook it, and if nobody will help me cook it, I'll set up my own pit and start cooking it on my own. So I'll have a small bit of a hammock, and I will light a torch.
Perfect. All right. So you guys make it to the wood line, and as you're peering in, behind you, you hear something shuffling up. And if you turn around, you notice that this is Royce, and he's hobbling up with his limp, and he approaches the back of the group. He goes, I appreciate that all you newcomers are taking concern over our lovely suitors and maidens. It worries me that they haven't returned yet, but I feel there may be more time. It is strange that none of them have returned yet.
Yes, there's always that one guy who is terrible at hiding.
I'm just gonna kind of ignore him, and I'm gonna look for like footprints or anything. See if I can get like a beat on someone.
Roll me a perception.
That's 19.
So you notice that there are over a dozen set of footprints veering off all the way from left to right. So you can see the tracks for each one of them that are going through the woods.
Is there can I tell what kind of footprints they are? Like, are there any like bare footprints or
All human.
ratty shoes? All right.
And Royce will look at you and say, "Gentlemen, if you would, would you mind joining me for one round of drinks? Tell me some of your stories, and if nothing has happened at the end of that, we can look into this matter.
Ender just like shrugs his gigantic shoulders and says, "What's one more drink after 24?"
So he brings up a pitcher, gets a glass for each and every one of you, and he starts asking each one of you about. He goes, "It seems you're all adventurous, and I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow to the knee. I'd love if you tell me your best story."
I'm gonna look at him and be like, I grew up in the mean streets of Riften.
That's canon now.
And so if you got a great story, you can feel free to tell them. But if not, we'll just say that you guys chat about the stories of Whitefall and the Thieves Guild and River Run. And what's up?
I shit you not. I saw this cat absorb a dragon. He absorbed it, and then he ate a pound of moon sugar.
That's some crazy shit.
You look like somebody stole your sweet roll.
I actually wouldn't sit around. Zook may be a trickster, but he does care. So when he said it's strange, Zook has seen things that go bump in the night. So he would go off in searching for these people by himself.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
I think I might try to slip out as well.
You guys roll me a stealth check.
I'm horrible at stealth.
I will probably join them.
Yeah, and Ender is trying to ham it up while he's telling a story, so I guess he would
I got a
draw
14.
his attention away.
I got a 15.
Let me tell you the story of my last championship bout against Trogdor the Burninator. He taught me how to spit. He taught me how to spit liquor and make a flamethrower out of it.
Once again, canon.
I got a 14 on that.
All right. So he's so tiny that Zook manages to sneak away, but as Nicholas and Thomas try, Royce is so enamored in the story, he clasps big hands on these two and says, "This is good stuff. It reminds me of the old days."
What days?
So you guys talk about Trogdor, and another 30 minutes or so pass, and Royce comes. He says, "Well, I could talk all night, but I am concerned. The maidens normally never hide themselves so well that they can't be found. No one here has the skill or security or weapons to search the forest. As far as dangers, there's just the odd pack of wolves. There's a bear who's been hibernating in the cave, so I don't think anything dangerous has happened, but I would greatly appreciate it if you could look into this for us."
You're gonna see me.
For you. And he just like walks out pretty much.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna do the same thing. And as I'm exiting, I'm gonna be like, I was gonna look an hour and a half ago, but lumberjack's got to do what a lumberjack's got to do.
Right there with you.
But you wouldn't have found out that he took an arrow to the knee if he didn't talk to you.
Yeah, and as he's walking out, he just like literally try to grab like a street lamp basically and rip it out, use as a weapon.
All right.
I
have no weapon.
Fire damage.
So do you all want to head towards the woods?
Yeah, I'm gonna be going at a pretty quick pace.
All right. And so do we want to travel are we traveling as a group, all kind of working together, other than Tiny right now?
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Perfect.
If they'll let me keep up.
So Tiny, while they're doing this, you approach the wood line. What are you doing?
So I'm gonna step back into the woods, and kind of to make myself a beacon, I cast Dancing Lights as a cantrip, and I'm gonna have them kind of spinning around me, maybe in like a 10-foot range of where I'm standing. Enough range that if something, that wants to hurt me comes, I can climb a tree or something, but enough range that people might see it. So you see him like hold out his hands, and these 4 globes appear on his hands, tiny, probably about the size of like a baseball. He tosses them into the air, and there's these little electrical balls that kind of spin around, and they start going in the area around him.
And you can hear from the town.
All right, so you're glowing with your dancing lights, and
Yeah, and I'm also gonna send Nibble out to scout.
Okay, cool. So kind of a methodical approach with him scouting ahead.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So while you're searching, you're taking your time and covering your bases. So you make it maybe a quarter mile, half mile into the forest, and before the other group sets out. So the rest of the party approaches the wood line, and you notice all the footprints from earlier. You guys can see smaller, tiny gnome footprints heading as well, and you can take your pick on which direction you want to head.
That little fool's going to get mauled by that bear.
Yeah.
Go get him.
All right. So what pace you guys are traveling? Do you want to be intently searching, or do you want to just follow his tracks?
I'm gonna be wanting to catch up with Tiny.
Yep.
So.
Then
I'm
I'll
gonna do a little bit of both.
Then I'll keep an eye out. I'm just following them, but I'm keeping a lookout.
Cool. So let's see. Davis and Nicholas, you guys are kind of trailing at the end. Mm-hmm. As you guys are traveling, you make it a little over a quarter mile into the forest, and then let's see, Nicholas, with your amazing passive perception, you hear something off in the distance, and you can't quite make out what it is.
Is it more of a roar, or is it more of an ah?
More of the ah.
It's a velociraptor.
It's a mixture.
Let's go.
I swear to God, if you run into Chris Pratt, I'm gonna be so mad.
So you alert the rest of the party?
Yeah. I'm like, guys, I point in the direction in which I heard it and then start running.
All right, so you're not quite sure where it's coming from yet.
What is it, Lassie?
Jimmy's stuck in a well.
But on closer examination, once you guys all stop and the movement of the group quits, you can hear that it's kind of to the front and to your left. So you want to take off in the woods towards the sound?
We should go carefully.
Yeah.
All right.
I real quick light my torch and start going.
So, Tiny, you hear something very faintly off to your side as well. Would you approach towards that?
By faintly hear, what do I faintly hear? Is it kind of like the screech that they heard, or is it like, I'm gonna rip your face off, I'm a wolf?
It's not an I'm gonna rip your face off, I'm a wolf, but you can't really make out what you hear. You just hear that there's something higher pitched off in the distance.
Okay, so I'm going to go in that direction, and I immediately turn off the dancing lights, since I don't know what it is, and let my dark vision kick in. And yeah, I'll head in that direction also, warily.
All right. So, as the main party approaches this, as you get closer, you hear it's just a loud, high-pitched shriek, like a woman's scream. And the closer you get, the louder and louder it gets. And
is
you guys
constant, or is it like somebody's yelling and then taking a breath and then yelling?
Exactly. It's like a yell, not like an ow, I'm hurt. Like this is a panicked like shriek, like scream and catch your breath, wait a little bit.
Then yeah, you'd start running in that case.
Okay. So you guys run straight up to the source.
As I'm running, I'm gonna put Sacred Flame in my hand.
All right.
I'm just
now,
like fists.
As you approach the source, you notice there's a 5 foot by 5 foot hole in the ground, And as you look down, you see it's a horizontal shaft that's kind of been built through centuries of water erosion. And looking down, it's well over 40 feet deep. So you can't really see at the bottom, but you do notice that you see what appears to be a white maiden's dress with an overturned lantern. That seems to be the source of the shrieking.
And he still has the street lamp, and the light's still coming off. So he kind of like holds it over the hole, and he's like, "Hello."
So you don't get any response, but you really can't even hear yourself over the shrieking this close.
All right, I
Hey,
real quick
lady.
like
Just shouts.
I pulled the rope off my adventurous pack. I have 50 feet of rope.
Perfect. So you find a tree to secure it on, and
I was gonna ask the barbarian to hold it while I rappel down, but that'll work even better.
or you can do that.
No, I'll tie it to a tree and I'll start like rappelling down.
Okay. So as you're lowering down, you notice some rocks and dirt or kind of scrape off the wall as you're scraping down, or as you're climbing down. But you get to the problem, or you get to the bottom with no problem, and you approach the dress and you notice that it's just an empty dress, just an empty maiden's dress, covering up just like some mushrooms and moss on the bottom of the pit, and there's still just screaming coming from within the bottom of the pit.
What do you see?
Wave my torch around. I don't see anybody, but
And
there's a dress here.
As
Where's
you say this, the screaming is just getting louder and louder. But you notice on the wall, a big stream of water bursts and starts flooding the cavern. So
I make a run for the rope and start climbing it.
all right, roll me an athletics check.
That's
Can
12.
I help him by pulling the rope up?
Yeah, so
I got a 12, so I'm just kind of grabbing it. I feel it being pulled up. I just like lift, holding the torch out, kind of seeing if I can see anything, like what's going on there.
So Nicholas, you scramble for the rope and you grab it, and then you kind of slip a little bit back to the ground. But Endor starts pulling the rope up, and you're a little soaked, but you make it out with no. And right as you're getting towards the top,
Oh shit!
and Ender, he's been pulling up the rope, and now he's getting to the wet rope, and it slips out of his hand. And
How far am I? How close am I to the top?
so you're.
I hope you can swim.
You're probably 10 feet from the top still.
Can I make a
But,
dex save to like parkour up and grab onto the edge?
Well, the rope drops and you start falling, but I want you to roll me either an athletics or an acrobatics save, whichever's better.
I'm going acrobatics. Damn it.
Whoopsie daisy, he
I got a
says.
10.
Drops the rope.
So,
Why can't I roll good?
so you manage to scrape your hands along the wall as you're going back down, and the water is filled up enough where you land in the water, you don't take any damage. But what equipment or armor are you wearing?
I don't have any armor, and I have basically for equipment, I have a quarterstaff, 10 days rations, at 50 feet of rope that I've been using, and like some torches.
So you're treading water fine, and you're just like, shit, let's try that again.
Sorry.
All right, I'm gonna try climbing the rope again.
All right, and you guys make it out of this one. You take your time. There's no difficulty. And as you come out, you notice that Tiny is just walking up from the clearing. He sees, hey guys. And you step out. You're kind of drenched in water. And now the group's together.
I'm gonna ask the monk, what exactly happened down there?
Well, I got down there, looked around, saw an empty dress. By the way, is it just a basic dress or is it a recognizable one?
It looked, yeah, you got passive perception of 20. You noticed that this one was the very ornately decorated one that Omina was wearing.
When he says empty dress, I'm gonna high five and be like, boobies.
You are the
No one was
weirdest
down
cleric
there,
I've ever met.
This cleric, man, he's a worldly cleric. It's the best. When I hear him say the dress was empty and water starts splurting out, have I ever heard of this, like Arcana wise?
No, you can't think of anything Arcana. You figure that
Do we still hear the
look down
screaming?
there, you think that it was just an underwater or underground stream.
Do we still hear the screaming? Or is it more of a...
So you hear muffled screeching going on down there still.
Do I know what that is?
Roll me a nature check. Anyone in the party can try and roll a nature check.
I'm gonna go see what I
Ooh, I rolled pretty good.
I know nothing.
Can I roll insight instead? Because I got an 8.
Yeah, you can do an insight as well.
I rolled an
Seven,
unnatural
nine.
20 nature.
So I got a 21, 17 plus 4.
All right. So, what'd you roll, Nicholas?
I got a 9 using insight.
I got an unnatural 20.
So I don't
got
think the
18
group's
plus
in on
4.
Nicholas to do anything anymore.
Yeah, don't let him.
I'm stopping.
You go back to the village. You go back to the village, okay?
I'm going to stop using Beyond Tabletop's dice thing. That dice roller hates me.
So as Nicholas is describing what he saw, Charles, you realize key in when he's talking about the fungus, and you ask him for some descriptions of it. And as he describes it, you're pretty certain that this was a shrieker fungus, which just screams whenever there's movement of creatures nearby it as like a defense mechanism.
Probably not, actually.
So
Yeah, I'd
nothing
rather
of
not
note.
either. Whoever said that.
So Tiny would speak up and say, "Was there anything else down there then?"
Why don't you come watch with me?
Because it was obviously shrieking before you got there.
I didn't see anything. I'm starting to think the town has lost the merchant's daughter.
Now, as you say that, you guys hear a rustling in the woods. It sounds like it's getting closer very quickly.
I draw the quarterstaff and just get ready.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn and face it with my sacred flame ready.
I draw my street lamp.
Zook, knowing that they said there was an empty dress down there, covers his eyes in fear of what might be coming out of the clearing.
I get behind everybody and hold the light out in front of me.
Okay. At that, crashing out of the wood line, a deer just jumps straight out. You see the deer has some gashes on the side. It's bleeding. It's got tangles and branches all tied up in its antlers. And as it jumps out, hot on its heels is 2 wolves that jump right behind it, and they're snarling. So this deer veers to the left, and it starts running, and then 2 more wolves jump out. So it veers back to the right, and the wolves back it up to a tree. And at this, the deer sees the group of adventurers, and Nicholas, you notice that on this deer's head is a rose. Seems kind of out of place. And
As soon as I see these wolves back this deer up, I'm gonna launch my sacred flame up over them.
all right. So
That's
we'll
a
let
dex
you
save.
launch the sacred flame. And what's that again?
It's a dex save.
All right. Let's check these wolves out. So what's your DC?
13.
All right. So the sacred flame goes flying up to the nearest wolf, and it lands directly at, because it's not halved when save, right? It's just don't hit.
No, yeah, it's hit or miss.
Okay, yeah, so you land right at the feet of the wolf. Doesn't damage it, but it does take away your surprise round, so let's roll initiative.
Oh boy.
Huzzah!
That's my other dice roll. I'm stopping using that one too.
Could Zook attempt to, like, persuade these wolves to calm the crap out?
Hey guys, just cool it, okay?
Yo, I have beast speak. I can actually talk with these things.
Bro, just chill.
So
You're a
these
little
guys,
hungry, I
I
know.
don't feel so bad
You
anymore.
could do that. Probably.
Have a Snickers, man.
You're not yourself. You're not yourself when you're hungry. Have a Snickers.
Now these
Ready
wolves
to
are
turn
so
into a
in the
Sharpay.
hunt
They're so in the hunt.
that you don't think you'd be able to calm them right now.
Well, snap. I'm gonna have to calm them down then with some good old-fashioned magic. Okay.
To calm him down the fun way. Okay, I'm going to use Dice Stream from now on. It likes me most.
Unless you just use.
I got a
regular rolls.
19 on initiative.
19. All right. Well, Zook will get to lead off the party. And let's see.
That's how I roll.
So, Davis, was that an 18 or a 14?
It's a 14. The 18 was the nature check.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. So Zook, you get to start us off.
I'm
Now,
gonna
what
make
you-
a roll real quickly.
Yeah. So what you see is you guys are standing near the side of the pit. Approximately 25 feet ahead of you is the deer backed up against the tree, and
Okay.
it's surrounded by 6 wolves.
Okay. By 6 wolves. Oh snap. All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. So there's no way I'm going to calm these things down. So I rolled to see if I can live with myself harming an animal. Zook is not very fond of harming beasts. And I'm going to, in this case, how far away from us are they?
25 feet.
Okay. Okay, so you would see lightning start sparking from his hand. And it would kind of fizzle around his hand, and then he'd extend his hand, and a hand made of lightning would shoot from his arm. And I'm going to cast Chill Touch. So make a ranged spell attack. Nat 20.
All right. So way we'll run nat 20s. You
I
run
really-
1 max damage die and then roll like normal.
I really, really hope this isn't what I think it is.
What?
It is.
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil it.
Okay, so that's 8 plus 12 plus my intelligence modifier. Oh no, cantrips don't add modifiers. So that's 12 damage then.
All right. So you down a wolf. So you got 1 wolf down.
Okay, awesome. And I kind of just like turn back and look at the guys and like I raise my fist like I did it.
You get a thumbs up.
All right. And so Zook's done. You downed 1 wolf. So the other wolves notice this, and one of them starts heading over towards the party.
Can I
And-
make a?
What's up?
I want to make like a religion or a history check, see if my suspicions are correct.
Yeah. What do you got?
So, what one do you want, religion or history?
Go for what's ever better.
They're both the same. I didn't
Let's
realize
do history then.
that. I rolled a 17 plus 4. That's 21.
All right. And so what are you looking for?
My suspicions are that these are the townspeople. Because I noticed the rose in the deer's hair, and didn't the merchant girl have the rose in her hair too?
You think you remember seeing someone in the town with a rose in their hair.
All right.
That's all you can think of right now.
All right.
And so that wolf is heading towards the pack. It zeroes in on Zook, who just zapped one of its friends, and it lunges with a snap. It clamps down on the tail end of your robes, right where the arrow lodged earlier.
And
And-
I just kind of like throw my hands in the air in disgust, like, woe is me. Like, why? Every single time.
All right. And so another wolf it's following right on the heels of that guy, and so it kind of jumping over its buddy chomps right at you, and it narrowly misses your head and goes barreling over you into the middle of the party.
And I kind of start waving my hands like, come on, bring it on. Like, I ain't afraid of you.
And, what the hell? We'll say a third one's following right up with you.
It's Monday. Come on.
And,
Drop
and
the mage.
so this one jumped over and like comes skidding in to the side, and it turns its head sideways to bite straight by your ass, and it just chomps down on all robe.
Yeah.
And now we're on Davis. So you've got a wolf on
The wolves are
front
rolling
side
like me.
of Zook, and then you have two more surrounding the deer.
I'll be right back, guys.
Didn't one go into the group of us?
Yeah, so the one behind Zook is kind of in the middle of the group.
Am I next to any of them?
Yeah, so you can position
Oh.
yourself right in between any of them. You were
By
kind
the
of
way, were you attacking with advantage because they have pack tactics?
It is true. That one didn't make it,
Shit.
and you're lucky they're rolling off. So
Oh
they
well,
still
good.
didn't
I'm
make it.
protected. Zook is just blessed.
So if there's one that's right on me with the rest of the group around it, I will draw one of those daggers and I will attempt to attack it. Well, attempt to hit it. All right, here we go. Big money, no whammies. 22 to hit,
Perfect.
and that'll be 12 piercing damage.
All right, so you down this wolf. Just how do you want to take him out?
The one that's lying down, the one that slid into the rest of us, I'll move up to it. I'll ram the dagger in right behind its shoulder, drag it across its body as I start to move back another 10 feet away from everybody else. Not toward the other wolves, away from the action.
Perfect. And now, let's see. Charles stepped away.
I give our halfling friend a wink, like small people got to stick together, man.
You get a thumbs up from behind as I'm running away.
Teamwork.
That's right.
I'll be the Mary to your Pippin.
I can do this. I can do this.
I'm like, Zook is still like waving his arms, like, are you not impressed?
Are you not entertained?
And then a giant wolf comes from the wood line and just stares you down.
You have been eaten.
All right, so at this, one of the
Charles just posted in the chat, by the way.
Yeah. I gotta go. My work's got an emergency. Dave's got my character sheet. You can just like segue my character, but I gotta take off. Sorry, guys.
All right, man.
All right, have a
Thanks
good one,
for playing.
guys.
See ya.
Have a blast.
All right, so
Cleric is
No matter, bless
raptured in
you.
the middle of combat.
he's a what?
He's raptured.
So
He just
Yeah, one
gets
of-
carried into the sky. He just holds his hands out and just starts flying into the air. He's like,
And he's
screw you
gone.
guys, goodbye.
So we'll take this wolf's turn, and this one lunges straight for Tomris. It sees that that Davis is just downed one of its buddies, and starts running towards the group. It leaps towards Tomris and just latches right onto Tomris's throat. And as the teeth pierce his skin, it's like puncturing a supernova. Radiant light just starts bursting out from Tomris's skin, and he starts elevating into the sky, and the wolf that bit him is just incinerated, just completely immolated from radiant damage, and Tomros has disappeared.
Well, that's
And now-
weird as shit.
And that, kids, is why you don't eat too much sugar.
And at that, the remaining wolves, they see this, and they all say, "Hey, a deer's not worth this," and they all run off into the woods.
Can I
Even
try to
the
run
one
after
that's
one
trying to kill
before?
me still? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Can I try to run after one and smack it with a quarterstaff?
Yeah, go for it. So there's one you can get an opportunity attack on as it gets away.
All right. Real quick. Let's see. That's +5. That's a 17 to hit.
Oh, you hit it.
All right. Two-handed strike. Max damage. That's an 11.
All right, and so
And I
you
can
just
bonus action punch it.
yes. Wait, so you down Wolf? How do you want to down it?
Oh, I just like real quick. I like leap in front of it and just smack it like right at the base of the skull, where like the skull and the spine meet, just like that part of its neck, just hard as I can.
Uh, so quick question. So there's the one in front of me that's trying to run away, right?
Yeah,
I also want an opportunity attack if it's okay.
sure.
I'm not gonna opportunity attack it. I rub my hands together, shocking grasp, and I zap him on the butt as he runs. Kind of like, yeah, don't come back, fool.
So this one sees its buddy just get its neck snapped, and then it gets a sharp zap, so it kind of jumps and yelps as the last two are running away. And that is a good point. I'm going to have to take a bathroom break. So if we want to take a 5-minute break, we'll be right back.
Sure.
Alrighty.
All right.
All right.
Well, hello there, my halfling friend.
Hello.
Man, small guys got to stick together, man.
That's the first in-person magic that Davis has seen.
Oh yeah, magic. Yeah. Apparently, in this world, magic is super rare, so it's probably the first in life magic that anyone in our party has seen.
All right.
Getting raptured wasn't.
That was pretty magical though too.
It's like, well,
I
I've
just
never
really
seen
hope
this
it was
shit.
Zook
The
is
angels-
impressed. He's like feeling his throat. Like, I wish I could do that.
I just really hope the angels that went and took him, for his sake, had a pie in one hand and no top.
Exactly.
It was like, come on, we know what you want.
Yeah,
Just
man.
come with us, yeah.
I originally hadn't planned for this to be my homebrew world, but I feel like I may need to and just write down the legends of Tomros the cleric.
Tomros the cleric.
Taken
man.
by Valkyries.
Topless Valkyries.
Yep.
With
Don't
pies.
forget that one. With pies. And lemon tarts.
Just platters of baked goods.
Oh, so this isn't going to be your homebrew world then? I thought it was.
No, this one was just kind of it's kind of a hodgepodge of some stories I saw around that I adjusted
Okay.
to teach my wife how to play D&D.
Oh, okay.
That's why we got like some samples of
Like different encounters and stuff.
Yeah. So you guys want to get back on it?
I might have to play Zook in your homebrew world when it's finally done. Then I'm enjoying this.
Agreed.
Knocking everyone over as they chase for those pigs.
Well, if you do, then I'm just going to target you with like every
Single bad thing that happens. My robes are already in tatters, man. His butt cheeks are exposed from having the back ripped off.
All right, so you guys have just downed these wolves, and as you down them, you notice this deer has been standing there by the tree, and it's making an unusual amount of eye contact. And if someone wants to roll either a nature or an animal handling check, you can look into the deer a little closer.
Can I just talk to the deer?
Animal handling.
Give me an animal handling check first to see if you can calm it down.
He's got like a spell or something, I think.
Yeah, if you have something like that.
Spells. Let me see.
Oh my god, this is so good.
I cast minor illusion and make myself look like a deer.
All right, you look like a deer.
And now I speak to it.
Oh, seeing that actually, it seems to cause the deer to freak out a little bit more.
Dang it!
So you can realize that something is not normal with this deer.
I change back to normal, and I convey this information.
Oh my god, Dan, this is so good. Holy moly, this is so good.
Yeah, it is. This is a sweet campaign. She knows
How
what she's
good
doing.
is it, Dan?
She's having spicy hot chocolate or something.
Oh, that does sound good.
Like Tabasco chocolate?
Okay. So, Ender's just standing there and like having a staring contest with this deer, just staring, not saying anything.
Nicholas is just like putting the quarterstaff back away. He just kind of keeps his backpack tight enough that it's like, this is a Monday for him.
So as you speak to the deer, Zook, it calms down a little bit, and it can't say words back to you, but you can tell that it's trying to use its eyes and its body motions to convey that it kind of wants you, that it's thankful for you guys helping it, and that it wants you to follow it. So it's strange behavior for a deer.
I nod after telling it that we come in peace, and I will convey this information to the group that it wants us to follow it.
Well, okay, that's not the weirdest thing that's happened tonight.
I say, and it certainly won't be the last.
Nicholas just goes, kind of looks at his wrist. It's Monday. Let's go.
It's Monday.
All right, so you guys head out and follow this deer. It moves back, kind of handrailing the river as you guys move along, and you travel a good quarter mile, and the deer keeps looking back and catching your attention, trying to lead you a particular area. You're moving through this thick pine wood forest. You hear just general sounds of the night, the occasional hoot of an owl and the chirping of some crickets. As you start cutting right away from the river, you start working your way up a hill, and in the distance, we'll say that Nicholas, you can, with your awesome passive perception, you hear another noise off to the side, and you can't quite make out what this one is.
I swear if it's a roar, I'm going to eat your face. I'm punching something.
I position myself away from the rustling.
Okay. So do you guys?
I position myself behind him.
All right. So you can't make out what it is from here. Do you want to move a little bit closer to try and figure out what it is, or do you guys drive on?
I want to ultimately drive on, but I'm going to get edge closer to it, so you can at least make out what it is.
So as you move a little bit closer, you notice just around the corner of the hill, you hear what sounds like a whimpering. Someone's kind of sobbing quietly, kind of like a oh god, oh god.
I move in to investigate, being
All right.
careful. Is it so dark that I can barely see?
What's the rest of the party do?
Nibble and I exchange glances, and I send him in to investigate.
Or actually, real quick, I point at Zook. You can do magic, right?
I give him a look and just kind of nod, like, yeah, I guess so.
I kind of like point the end of my staff towards him. Can you make this glow?
I like
I've
look
seen
at the
you do
staff.
weirder things.
No need, friends. As Ender just steps forward, still with this lit street lamp, because he hasn't hit anything with it yet.
I look at
He's
his
using a
lamp.
walking stick.
I look at his lamp in pity as he uses the things of mortals. And I look back at the stick and I grab it in both hands. Can I use my dancing lights to make his staff light up?
Why
Like
not?
put like a light on each end of the staff, kind of like it's like a. Now you can spin it like a twirler almost.
That's perfect. I like it.
Okay,
Show
I
off.
position a dancing light on the end of each end of the staff, and the two of them rotate around the middle.
And just for the hell of it, we're gonna say that as you start twirling it, the lights just fizzle out, and here's Ender's opportunity to shine.
Oh, your magic isn't helping now, is it? All right, let's go.
I kind of turn and look at him with this look of disgust on my face, and just shake my head and like look forward again.
Your ass is showing, he says as he's walking off.
And I moon him.
So as you guys round around the mountain, you realize there's the mouth of a cave there, and you're getting closer. You can hear this is definitely it's human, like whimpering, and you hear a quiet snoring as well. If you round to the edge of the cave opening and you shine Ender's light in, you can see a big black bear laying in the cave, dozing quietly, and it's got his arm wrapped around a form laying on the ground, curled up in the fetal position, and it is Baxter, the baker. The bear is dozing quietly and occasionally like licking the flour off of Baxter's face, and every time he just kind of whimpers quietly, and he's like, "Oh God."
We should probably get the others.
I kind of give those two a look, and I'm like, oh, how precious. I don't say that, but I'm just like,
Okay. What's the plan?
So what do you guys want to do here?
You stay in front of it, or at least in front of me, and I will do my best to help you until it looks like we learn it. At which point I will probably run.
Maybe we can trick the bear to leave the baker, and then when it turns back, Mr. Wizard here, he makes it seem like the opening is not there anymore.
Have just a tiny sip. Tiny sip.
Could we
Wait,
not just...
Is that good?
did you say our monk isn't wearing armor?
I have a 16 AC with no armor.
I look at him,
Bye.
and I smile. And I say, do you like a fight? Where you don't get hit?
Oh shit! Fucking fuck!
Yeah, he does. I say, would you like a fight where you don't get hit?
Alright, let's do this.
I walk up to him
I
and I
like this
place my
plan
hand on his
already.
chest, and lightning goes from my fingers and spreads over his body, forming kind of like tendrils of electricity on his body, casting mage armor on him.
Mage
But
armor,
anyone-
mage armor won't stack with his math bonus.
Oh wait, AC becomes 13 plus its dexterity modifier.
Yeah.
Right.
it
He's already
switches.
got a different formula.
Oh,
Oh,
never mind.
I don't
It's
think
just
so.
like Dex plus Wiz, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's just Dex plus Wiz.
So what is your dex modifier?
3.
Never mind. You still have 16 AC.
It's like, thanks!
Never mind.
Alright, what do you think? We
No,
would
wait,
do-
it's just 10 plus Dex plus Wiz. Wouldn't it set my base AC, which is 10,
No.
to the... Nope.
Nope. You
No.
can't have two different formulas stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't work. So never mind.
Darn
Dang it. That would have been so cool.
That would have.
You would have had like an AC of like 20 something.
Yeah, it would have been awesome.
Don't you have haste? Give the monk haste.
Bye.
I actually didn't take haste. Sorry.
Darn it.
So,
Can you get the door?
So Ender is huge and athletic, but he is not big on actual fights, or he wants to avoid fights as much as he can because he's retired. So he's like, "How about we try to get the bear away from the baker without trying to fight it? We have to fight, I'll fight, but I am wielding a post."
I look Ender up and down as he towers like 5 feet taller than me. And I just look at him as he's like, we probably shouldn't fight this thing. And I'm like, got a confused look on my face. Like, shouldn't you want to fight this thing?
I am retired. I don't fight anymore, okay?
I'm like, well, you played a good game of Punch Drunk last night, so it looks like you still fight.
Alright, fuck this, he says as he tries to sneak up to the bear.
I
Cool.
sneak up with him.
So roll me. Everyone who's sneaking, roll a stealth check.
Okay. I kind of just stand in the
21.
back, and I'm just like, if it comes, I'm going to mess this thing up.
So he's trying to sneak up and just golf swing the bear in the head with his...
I make one loud noise. I'm like, fuck this. No.
So as
Oh, 21!
so as you guys stealth in there,
We don't.
Nicholas just steps on a big stick as he's rounding his way to the cave. So if you want, I'll allow you to freeze, and everyone else makes it like right up to the bear.
No, I don't. I'm not trying to get up to the bear.
Okay.
I want to be
Well,
Far
like
away, my
20
friend bear at this point.
So the bear is only about 15 feet inside the cave. So I guess then Ender and Zook, you guys make it up no problem. And as you get up there, you realize this bear it's not just sleepy. It's almost kind of sedated, like something has it zonked. So even when Nicholas made the loud noise, it just stirred slightly, and then it licked Baxter's face and just kind of settled back down. And Baxter's looking at you as he sees you now, and he's like, "Get me out of here."
Seeing
Don't worry,
that you
friend.
wake up, I'm gonna try again to sneak up to it. Can I make a new roll, or do I have to stick with the one I had?
Try it again, yeah.
Zook, do you have
I think
any...
that's better. What's my mod to that?
Do you have any spells to replace his form in the
14.
bear's grasp?
So
Like
you make
that
it up.
tale
no
of the
problem.
man who took the idol and replaced the weight.
I look at the bear, and I look at him, and I kind of look back and forth between them. And I kind of just hold up my arms like, yo, I ain't got nothing, man.
Unseen servant?
Ooh, maybe. Well, no, it's formless. It's shapeless.
It can like give force though, right?
Let me check, actually. I'm not completely sure. I just knew it sounded like a
I
fun
know it
spell.
can like move stuff around and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you can use it for that. You could use it to kind of hold up the arm if you want.
Okay. So I will cast Unseen Servant then. So you see this same thing happen again, where he kind of takes these 2 ball bearings out of this pouch. This time he takes out multiple to give it a better form and tosses them into the air, and they kind of just magnetize and float, forming this figure out of electricity. But then it kind of just fades away, just the ball bearings, kind of form like arms and stuff. And the arms lean down, and they pick up the arm of this bear.
So however you guys want to do that, if you want to use the Unseen Servant or one of you help, we'll just need a strength check to pick up the bear's arm.
So I point at our big old burly orc and kind of lift his arm, so that the Unseen Servant can get in.
Okay. Okay, carefully. Carefully. Fuck!
Can I, with my 14,
10.
my new 14 sneak roll, can I get in there and kind of add leverage with the staff?
We'll say that you can assist Dan and let him try again.
So I kind of like find a spot and get leverage with the staff and just kind of start pushing.
Carefully.
Do I need to roll
Alright.
2?
Much better. 22.
Alright. So you guys get the arm up, and so Baxter is free.
And you see Zook contemplating maybe pulling a trick right now and zapping one of them, but he's like, yeah, now is not the time. And he kind of looks at the Unseen Servant and kind of like, in you go, in you go.
I kind of like reach down and kind of help pull Baxter out from under the arm because I'm holding I'm basically holding the staff up with one. I'm going to pull him out with the other.
Yeah, and the servant kind of just climbs in after Baxter gets out, and like, you'd see his form, like, kind of just looks like I can see his form because it's like to me like he's visible,
Yeah.
and his eyes just kind of like, just smile.
Cool. So the servant's holding the bear's arm up, and now you have Baxter. So now we just need to stealth back out of the cave.
Oh boy, this is when things go wrong.
So I turn to start stealthing away, and I'm like, wait a second. I turn around, I pull a piece of charcoal out of my pocket, and I draw glasses and a mustache on the bear.
Like
totally
physically draw.
Yeah, physically draw. Like, very lightly, though. I'm like,
So
What
on this,
happened,
the bear stirs, and it starts to open an eye, and then it kind of settles back down.
I rolled
and
an
Zook,
8 for stealth.
But as this bear is starting to open its eye, it hears a big scrape as Nicholas's quarterstaff drags along the side of the wall, and the bear's eyes open up, and it sees everyone in its cave. And we will roll for initiative.
it's got like half of a mustache and half of a glasses on it right now. So it looks like it has a monocle, and the other half is gone.
Fuck, Nicholas. You fucked the pooch.
Oh, only 10.
I had an 8.
So that's
Oh.
only 10 initiative that time around. You see Zook as like this scraping sound happens, and he kind of just like tenses up. And he like goes like he's gonna keep drawing when it opens an eye and kind of starts to close again, and then its eye opens wide open, and he's like, "Uh-oh."
I have a 10 for initiative.
Perfect. And 24 for Davis.
Yep.
All right, so you're going to lead us off. You were there ready for this bear to be going, and you get to lead off the initiative.
All right. I'm going to move back behind the rest of the party, and I'm going to ready an action. Well, I'll draw one of my darts, and I'll ready an action to throw a dart at the bear once the party is within range to hit him.
The wizard is right next to him.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah, I
wizard's
just
right next to him?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Well, then I will go ahead and attack and then run.
there you go.
I will attack first then. Here we go. Boom shaka. Does a 16 hit?
It does.
Boom. All right. That's 10 damage.
All right. So so this is with the dart, right?
Yep.
So with this, where do you hit the bear with the dart? How does it work?
Right now I'm just aiming to draw its attention away from the other little one in front of him. So it's probably going to hit him right behind the ear.
All right, and at that, the bear hadn't really noticed you yet, but it gives out this loud roar as it looks over at you, and
I'm moving
Then
my
you-
other 25 back.
and then you hear some shuffling in the shadows behind it as another bear rouses from its sleep.
Shit.
And this bear will be here next round.
Wonderful.
Zook's like, if you don't move, it can't see you. If you don't move, it can't see you. And he's like,
Like a T-Rex.
So that will take us to the bear. You freshly shot the dart in this guy's ear, and it is not happy about it. So as it starts heading towards you, it swipes with the claw at Zook, and Zook manages just like barely move back in time, and the claw just scrapes through the fabric all across the front of his robes.
I almost imagine like it thinks I'm gonna try and dodge, but my eyes are just closed, and like its hand goes over my head or something. I'm just like,
Perfect. And
You have it out for his robes, don't you?
yeah, no, my robes are gone. I'm gonna be butt naked by the end of the night.
yeah, I think they're up.
We're gonna get back to like, what happened to him?
Don't ask.
And
He's
don't
actually-
ask. What happens in the woods stays in the woods.
He's actually our gnome barbarian. Yeah.
All I do is rage.
So he steps past you with that swipe, which will trigger an opportunity attack, and he bites at Nicholas, and he misses. So if you would like the
That's kinda
opportunity
like-
to attack the bear, you can.
I was
I'm
thinking,
right up there with the wizard. So would I
Uh,
do it as well?
Oh, okay. Well, then we will say actually just bites at you, Ender, and that'll end his turn.
Okay.
Now, it's your turn now. So this bear has just tried to bite you.
Oh, it's been a while since I've had the bear wrestle. He says he just smacks it in the face with his lantern thing. It's functioning like a maul, basically. Boop doop. Oh fuck! He misses completely.
Yes, you do.
You just see the flame like leave a trail as it completely misses the bear.
And
Shit.
that'll lead us to Zook. How do you respond to this? Let's see. I think you might be muted, Ty.
So I open my eyes finally, and I see this bear get clocked.
I read.
What?
Almost forgot.
What's up?
What?
As a bonus action, I rage. Or I
Okay. Nice.
that way.
Okay. So I see just all this go down. I see the orc's face turn from green to red as it starts raging. And I'm just kind of like staring at this bear that's kind of like right in front of me. And I kind of look down on my unseen servant and look back up at this bear. And I'm going to where's my spell list? So I'm going to use first off, mage armor on myself. So that makes my AC 15 now. And secondly, wait, so mage armor's an action, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's all I can do then. You see me just like close my eyes again, and lightning kind of streaks across my skin, casting mage armor.
All right. And that takes us up to Nicholas.
all right. Nicholas is gonna like take the quarter step and kind of smack it. And I'm also
Right.
gonna try to bonus like punch. I'm using my eyebrows now. I'm using everything because nothing is working for me. Okay, that's good. So I got an 18 on the dice. So that's
That'll hit.
23 hit.
Definitely.
All right. And that's an 8 with a quarterstaff.
All right. So
And then bonus action 10.
let's hear it.
That's a natural 20 to punch.
All right. So how do you finish this bear off?
You see me just kind of start spinning my staff, and I like real quick crack it in the chin with this quarterstaff. And as I kind of reel around, and like I just kind of like let these staff roll around my shoulder, as I just reach up and just punch it in the face.
All right. So this bear goes like rock back on its heels. It lands on its back and is immediately replaced by the black bear that has been moving up from behind it. And we move to Davis's turn.
How far away is this new bear?
So he kind of took the exact spot of the other bear, just moving in from the back of the cave.
All right. Then I will move back up into within range and throw another dart.
All right.
Does a 13 hit?
It does.
All right. And that's 12 as I pull another one out of my sleeve and just backhand toss.
All right. So this dart hits it, the bear yelps out and screams again, and it obviously hurt it, but now it's fighting harder. So this bear liked the other one's technique, so he moves forward and takes a swipe with his claws straight at Zook and mimics the exact motion of the one earlier. He just barely skims the top of his head. And continuing the motion, he goes to bite at Dan and just doesn't get anywhere near biting him. And it'll be back to Ender now. You guys are lucking out.
All right. Second time's the charm. Fuck. He completely whiffs again. Just like bringing it down, like overhead, and smashes it on the ground. You just see a flame burst.
But you're so enraged, a crack just ripples throughout the ground from where you hit.
Yeah.
Zook's like, you can do it.
And now we're at Zook.
The diversion, he says.
As his cheeks are just filled with wind from this slam into the ground. You just see his robes fly everywhere, and you get another good glimpse of it.
All right, Zook, what do we got?
So this bear is still standing, yes?
Yeah, it's hurt.
Okay. So the bear in front of me just died, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to charge the bear, holding my hands out in front of me, and I'm going to grab onto it and use Shocking Grasp.
All right.
So I need to make a attack. It does not have armor, obviously, so I don't have advantage. Let me hurry and look up the damage. I am there. Okay. So make a melee spell attack. Does a 13 hit?
It does.
Okay, so that'll be, on a hit, the target takes 1d8 lightning damage. Okay, so I deal, that is 8 damage of lightning.
All right, so how do you fry this bear?
So you see Zook, who's kind of been cowering in the corner this whole time, and he kind of just like, and he steals himself and he opens his eyes, and you see lightning sparking through his eyes, and it's just kind of like, it's like a little Daft Punk concert inside of his eyes, just lightning flying everywhere. And he rushes forward, and you see the electricity that was originally on his body kind of float down into his arms, and it's crackling between his fingertips, and they just look like these two glowing, electrical sparking, just powerhouses of energy. And he reaches forward, and he grabs the bear's head and puts his fingers on its eyes, and you see electricity fly through the bear's body, and it sparks into the ground, and the bear's body, and the eyes just of the bear burn out, and it collapses to the ground.
Vicious wizard.
Well, that was cool.
And Zook just kind of turns at him as he says this and gives him like a wink, like, yeah, it was.
Not that cool.
And then you see a frown pass over his face as you say, not that cool.
What's Nibble doing here?
Nibbles just kind of just starts clapping on his shoulder.
Perfect.
Just like, good job, very good job.
All right, so you guys are out of combat, and it's just you and Baxter in the cave now.
All right, Baxter, you'll need to explain yourself. There's a strange bedfellows you're keeping.
I thank you guys so much. I was out looking for the maidens, and I thought I heard one of them in here, and I
I
came
kind
into
of point at one of the bears and go, "That's not a maiden."
I realized that as soon as I got in, I fell, and I froze right in front of it, and it pulled me in and started licking my face, and that's where I've been.
Zook pipes up and says, should we start calling you Sweet Cheeks?
Yes.
I gotta go back to the town. Thank you guys.
Did you see anybody else?
No, this is as far as I made it.
Oh, great. All right.
I tell you though, there's a path just north of here. I was heading for. I think it's north of here.
Okay.
And so at this, he starts heading off.
All right.
So you guys head back outside, and you see that your deer is still there.
Oh, good, you waited. All
And
right.
so the deer kind of patiently is like, "Oh, well, are we ready to go?"
Yep. Starts walking.
Perfect. So the deer takes you off again, and you guys travel for a little while, and then the deer stops. It kind of looks left, kind of looks right, and it just pauses for a little bit. It's not kind of like it doesn't know which way to head.
Which way's north?
So you guys can deduce that north is towards your right now. So you guys are kind of traveling westward.
Okay. So, knowing that the guy said something about a place to the north, I guess Ender would be like, let's go right. To the north.
All right. So if you guys head that way, you travel for a while. You notice that the forest is getting much thicker. The spacing between trees is getting much tighter. The height of the trees is growing, so you appear to be heading much deeper into the forest. And the deer realizes that it might not have known where it was heading, so it kind of just trots in line with your party. And as you guys are traveling, Zook, you feel just kind of a draw, like just a natural pull causing you to list to the right of the way you're heading.
Is it kind of like almost like an arcane kind of like feeling, or is it just like I think we should go this way?
It's a mixture of both. You feel like it might be magic, but you can't quite tell. You don't know if it's just your gut, kind of your head, trying to justify it.
Okay, I pipe up, and I say, you know those moments when you're really hungry and you really want something to eat, and everything just sounds good, but one place pulls you in that direction, like that sounds better than everything else. I say that direction. I can feel it in that direction.
Okay, I don't know where the fuck I'm going.
And Nibble and I just exchange this glance as we both roll our eyes at the same time. And I'll take the lead and start leading in that way.
All right, so you guys travel for a while in that direction, and eventually the trees are getting thicker and thicker, and at one point, as you push the brush to clear through, you open yourselves into a small clearing. The trees are so tall and the canopy is so thick over the head that one shaft of moonlight is breaking through the canopy, and it's spotlighting a small spring that's emerging straight from the earthy woodland floor.
My quarterstaff is out from the moment that Zook has mentioned. I feel a weird pull in this direction. I'm like, all right, I'm going, but there could be anything out there.
As you guys step into the clearing, the only sound you hear, you had been hearing animals on the walk up, but the only one you hear now is the water babbling as it cascades over small rocks.
Oh, that's not good.
Almost as if the rest of the woods is kind of holding its breath. There's an uncanny sense of stillness. And whatever else might be occurring right now, no matter the urgency of your quest, you just feel a sense of peace as you walk into the clearing.
I send my unseen servant forward as a sacrificial lamb.
All right, so it walks straight into the middle of the clearing, and the clearing you see itself is probably about 15 feet deep and maybe 10 feet wide, so just a small little rectangle. You see one large tree, and at the base of it is where the spring emerges and runs over just to the edge of the clearing, and then it goes back into the ground.
I have my servant step into the water.
So, as your servant steps into the water, the moonlight dims in the entire clearing, and you see a little sparkle of electricity as your magic comes in contact with the water, and everyone the whole clearing dims, kind of as if like when the movie theater dims the light for the show to come on, and you hear rustling running through the woods, and all of a sudden, this astral figure of a probably 17, 18-year-old girl bursts out into the clearing. She's extremely ornately dressed, wearing very fine clothes, must be some sort of nobility or royalty, and she's carrying a hunting bow. She bursts into the clearing. She walks to the middle of it and just stops. And not too long after, you hear rustling again, and behind her bursts out another astral figure. This one is about a 10 to 12-year-old boy. He bursts out, and again, he's wearing fine robes, very ornately decorated. But you notice on him, he's wearing a crown. And as he comes into the clearing, he says, "Melvick, you can't go running off like that. We left the guards behind ages ago." And she looks back. She goes, "Kimla, you got to learn. Part of the fun of the hunt is going off and just taking the adventure." He goes, "Besides, they were boring anyway. I think I saw the animals come through here." And the boy, he comes at ease. He goes, "Well, do you mind if we take a break for a moment?" He goes down to the knee, and he's catching his breath. And as he's catching his breath, you notice that Melvick, the girl, she turns towards him and says, "I don't mind at all." She reaches back, pulls out a dagger, very ornately decorated dagger, and she plunges it into the kid's back. The little boy falls forward, and as she rolls him over, his last gaze looking her in the eyes, and he tries mouthing something, and then he just fades off. And so she reaches down, plucks the crown off his head, and places it on hers. And then you see her just start moving at the base of the tree and digging a grave. And then the lights come back on, and that's what you guys see. You notice the spring where it emerges is exactly where she buried the body.
Not thinking much about maybe what consequences might lie in store, Zook rushes across the clearing to this makeshift grave, I guess, this buried body, and kind of looks down at it. Can I sense any arcane presence coming from it? Maybe left behind remnants of energy, or...
You feel something.
Is it stronger here than anywhere else in the clearing?
It is, yes. Now,
Okay.
as you rush up there, you notice the deer steps into the clearing. As the deer steps into the clearing, this whirl of energy comes on around the deer, and it starts resuming from the bottom up, human feet into shins, into knees, and up you see the form of a body reveal. And you realize that this is one of the girls you saw around the town earlier. Her name was Rosa, and she's scraped up on her face and her arms, and she is wearing just absolutely nothing. So she covers up very shyly, and she goes, "Oh my God, I was wondering when." And then she realizes she's nude, and she's like, it's awkward moment.
Yeah, Ender just like takes off his robe and is like, "Here you go." He's just wearing like boxer shorts kind of stuff, basically. That's it.
With his light post.
Yeah.
And Zook runs off into the trees and changes his pants and comes back with his ripped pants that don't have the backing, and hands them to him.
I thought you were changing for a different reason. Thank you.
They're a little small. It's okay.
They'll be like shorts. They'll be like shorts.
Comfortable in my body. That's...
And then he looks at the pants and kind of just like, and looks to the girl and kind of closes his eyes and walks over and holds them out to her.
How about Davis?
Has been staring ever since she turned into a person. And once she became a naked woman, has just continued to stare like... just jaw slack the entire time. Not even like a giggle or a half smile, just like an wow.
So as she puts on Ender's robe, she goes, "Oh, thank you so much, but I can't believe we found it. Do you know what this spring is?"
Nope.
So she says, "That must have been the boy king Kimla. He used to rule this region. He was one of the greatest rulers we ever had. They say that the inherent good around him just leaked out to anyone that was near him. He went missing, and no one ever knew why. We just know that his sister took the throne, and there was terrible years to follow."
And Zook says, "Well, I think we know why now."
And so she begins to explain to you that these are the healing springs of the wood. Everyone in the region knows that this water is supposed to heal whoever drinks it. But there's not an extreme amount of popularity for the region because for some reason the water only heals you while you're within the forest. So no one travels to bottle it and take it out of the forest. But when you're in here, it lets you heal.
Do you regain spell slots?
No, just hit points.
Dang it.
And that's all in game, by the way.
What are
She
spells?
says no spell slots.
Oh yeah, that's totally in game. I say instead of saying spell slots, I say I need a recharge.
No.
Dang it. It's worth a try.
So after this story, Ender just kind of stands there awkwardly, and he's like, "How did you turn into a deer?"
Oh yeah, that. So she goes, "Yes, thank you guys so much." I don't know what happened. I just remember running, and wait, no. We were in a clearing, and there was music, and I remember coming to. It was like I woke up from a dream, and I saw this shadowy figure moving towards me, and I just began to run. And next thing I know, I'm being chased by wolves, and I encounter you guys. Just like I think I remember where the clearing is, but I don't remember how I got there.
Hmm.
Have I ever heard of like a shadowy figure like this doing anything to anyone?
No, well, roll me an Arcana.
This is my forte, boys. Here, I'll do dice roller so you guys can see it. So this will be
Getting all my terrible rolls out of the way anyway.
so that's an unnatural 20.
Yeah, man. So you don't know what it is.
Oh,
You
sorry,
sound-
19. So plus 6 to that.
You
19.
think it sounds like she was charmed, and you definitely know that it was polymorph that took her to a deer. So nothing crazy, but you can get a feel that somehow she was charmed. You think maybe the music that she's talking about did it, but as for what would do that, you're not certain.
I convey all this.
That is some powerful magic, probably.
I say, well, it's far outside my range of spell casting.
I've heard of tricks. Okay, I'll roll history to see if I would actually know that. I know it, but I don't know if he does. He doesn't know that.
I've heard of tricks. That's what you've heard of.
I've heard of tricksy little folksters trying to turn villagers into rabbits and all kinds of crazy things.
Silly little orc, tricks are for kids.
Yeah.
So what do you guys want to do now?
Have you seen any of the others?
No, I was just running from the wolves until I found you guys.
Hmm.
How long has it been since I cast Unseen Servant, by the way? How long have we been walking?
Say 15 minutes.
Cool, still works. Alright.
I hope this isn't the village. Last village I was at, they, yeah, murder cult. Fun.
Well, we should probably find the other tracks.
All right, so you guys are ready to move out from the clearing?
Yep.
Yep. And on our way out, I say, if I hear the greater good, I'm punching somebody.
The greater good.
All right, so Rosa says, if we get back on the trail, I think I should be able to lead us there. I just need to find something that I recognize. So you guys move out, and y'all start heading for the trail. You see a fork that moves left and a fork that moves right. What do you want to try?
Right is my vote.
Would going right again lead us back the way we came, though?
So this kind of branches off just generally the direction you're heading. Just one moves left and one moves right.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, right hasn't led us wrong yet, so I would say right.
All right. So you guys travel the trail for a while, and eventually you get out of the thick area of the forest, and the sounds of the animals return, and you find that the trail widens, and Rosa realizes, wait a second, I think I know where we are. Good, let's keep going this way. So you travel, and as you keep moving down the trail, you notice the sounds of the animals, they're getting more and more frequent. And at a certain point, like there's just animals left and right. You hear the bark of a dog, the growl of a badger, the yelp of a deer, the hoot of an owl, and it starts getting so loud it's almost like this strange woodland song. And as you move into the trail, as the trail continues, it starts getting a little bit rougher, and you see what is at least like an 800-year-old ancient oak tree. And as soon as you get there, all of the sounds stop. And from this tree, you hear this echoing, mystic voice. They say, "Who are you to travel in my woods?"
All right, turning around. Let's go. The tree talks. Let's get away.
We seek to find the fools that traipse about your home,
Kingdom? I don't know.
So,
your realm. Says.
coming
Please
out,
Constable Nicholas Angel.
By the way, when it asks this question, Zook takes it literally and starts introducing everyone.
oh, go ahead and bet.
I'm like, well, I'm Zook. This is Nicholas, and this is Big Orc Guy, and this is my halfling friend.
Everyone knows what my name is. Says just. Aw.
Point of inspiration. All right. So the voice just comes out from within the tree itself again. It goes, "I am the dryad of this wood. I know everything that goes on within its confines. Who is it you look for in particular?"
We are looking for.
I start naming names.
One of them was like Elmina, right, or Elmira, or something like that.
Who else was in the wood with us? He asks the lady that we brought.
And so Rosa chimes up. She starts naming off the names of some of the maidens. She's like, Dawn and Posey, I guess Elmina, and she's just rattling off. And then the voice, before it finishes, she goes, "What is your name?" She calls out Rosa. She goes, and so then the voice opens up again and goes, I can help you in your search, but I must be sure of your intentions. I have a question for each of you. You must answer truthfully." And she goes, "Big one, Mr. Orc." What?
I'm like, his name's Ender.
Well, no. She goes, "What is your name?"
Ender Malfurion.
"Little Zook, what is your quest?"
To seek all of the lost individuals.
"Nicholas, What is your favorite color?
Red.
No yellow.
No
No,
blue.
sweet blue.
No green. Oh!
Okay, so she asks you just a couple strange questions like that, and then she goes, Rosa. Rosa says, yes? Come to the back of the tree. And Rosa starts stepping forward.
Nothing good happens at the back of the tree, guys.
So Rosa disappears behind the tree, and then you hear just a screeching, like, animalistic scream. Like Velociraptor plus other
And a million
terrible
swallow?
stuff.
I go sprinting.
And as you round the tree, you see that Rosa is standing right there, and there's a huge crack running on the tree. And if you poke your head in, Rosa's got her head poked in, and you can see a shape in there. It's Posey from earlier. She goes, just kidding. I just had to make sure you guys were okay.
I look at Posey and kind of just tilt my head to the side like, is this woman for reals?
So this is the childlike girl from earlier. She goes, guys, I'm kind of stuck in here. I need some help.
All right.
She says, there was a satyr. He charmed all of the maidens, and we were all going back to his clearing. Rosa was there, and I managed to break free of his charm, and I just ran. I knew this ancient oak was here, and I wanted to hide so he couldn't find me again, but I can't get out now.
All right, stand back. He takes out the post and tries to pry the tree open.
She's wait, no, I can't stand to see this tree harmed. It's so old.
How did you get in there?
I climb up to a point and like lower the staff down and have her hold on to it.
So the tree extends to the top of the canopy. She kind of just like made her way, like snuck through this opening, and she's like so deep now that she's kind of stuck. She goes, if you guys have soap or oil or anything, wait, there's a whortleberry bush just north of here. That could do the job.
What the hell's a whortleberry bush?
So you guys know that whortleberry was the wine that you were drinking at the festival earlier. It's like their local berry.
Doesn't sound appetizing.
I wouldn't be able to tell it from deer droppings.
As she was saying, like, all these different things, Zook was pulling out, like, a bottle of ink, like, maybe this will work.
So you guys can, Rosa's like, I know where the whortleberry grove is, and you guys can go do that, or you could just say screw it and crack the tree open. Whichever you want to do.
So you said this tree was, like, ancient, right?
Like 800 years or so.
Do I sense anything coming from this tree?
No mystical energy, but you can tell that it's, as far as like nature importance, that it's definitely part of the forest.
Yeah, I'll just go and get like a bunch of berries then.
All
I'll
right,
send
so
my
it's
unseen servant to do it. That's why I've got him.
all right, so it's your unseen servant have to travel with Rosa, and they travel maybe a quarter mile off just to run grab them.
Okay.
All right. Well then, let's see what happens. All right. Rosa comes running back. What's the does it have like HP or anything on the unseen servant?
Yeah, it does. So the unseen servant, let me see, ABC. It has more hit points than I do. I know that. No, never mind. It has an AC of 10, 1 hit point, and a strength of 2.
Okay.
And it cannot attack. And if it drops to 0, the spell ends. So it would notify me if it dropped to 0.
So you guys hear Rosa come rushing back, and she's like, wait. Pull her out. Come, we have to go now. We have to go to the clearing.
Do I see my servant with her?
Yeah, it's following her.
Okay, cool.
Giving him any like, no, don't.
All right. Do they have the berries?
No.
Where are the berries?
She goes, I made it to the clearing, but I saw the dragon servant of the guy who captured us. I think he can lead us to the clearing.
Dragon servant?
Yes.
Is this girl high?
No. Well, roll an insight, I guess.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
I'm gonna roll
How
insight
does
too.
how does a nat 20 sound?
She is legit genuine. It is a full-on dragon.
Zook would just kind of like jump at this opportunity. He's never seen a dragon before. He's always wanted to study one, and he kind of just like looks at the tree and kind of his gaze like falls as he doesn't want to break this tree.
Let me see what is in my pack.
I have some rope.
I have oil. I have like a holy oil.
Hey, oil is oil.
Dude.
Well, that would have been a little easier, but
Dude, give it to me. Oil, do it.
yeah,
Oh
he
my
uses the
God.
holy oil as like a muscle builder, I guess.
Good.
He
So
just,
that'll-
when he works out in the morning, he rubs it on his biceps so he glistens in the sun.
Pretty much.
So we'll let the oil give you advantage on a strength check to pull her out.
Okay. Up, crit. He just like reaches in and goes shoop, just.
All right, so
Just
no
goes flying
damage to
30
the
feet,
tree.
yeah.
Everyone's happy.
Well, that was easy. We should have just done that from the beginning.
I kind of look over at Ender and like, you didn't tell us you had the oil from the beginning. Give him that look.
I forgot. It says only he like gets a little red because it's embarrassing that he has oil for like.
Zook just smiles and slaps him on his like shirtless back because he's still
Yeah.
in his boxers.
Rosa,
He's like, it's okay, buddy.
Rosa looks at him and looks at like the only thing he has is a pair of boxers. She goes, "Where were you keeping that?"
My fanny pack. He has a satchel. He has a satchel that he's wearing.
This is what all the good adventurers wear, man.
It's so convenient and it keeps out of the way. I'm saving fair maidens.
It's the latest and greatest in adventurer fashion.
Okay, so you guys have the group together, and y'all want to rush off to face the dragon?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
walk in the very back of the group now.
But you were excited to see it.
I know I am. I just don't want to die.
Okay, so y'all start moving out that way, and as you're getting closer, Rosa's saying, "All right, hurry, but stay quiet. I think if we stay quiet, we can follow it back." You approach, and as you travel maybe a quarter mile out, she says, all right, the clearing should be right up here. Let's sneak forward. And let's roll a group stealth check.
21.
So everyone's rolling stealth then, or are we just rolling one for the group in general?
You know what? We'll let the 121 work. Whatever first roll. I like chancing it. So
Okay.
21 takes you to the edge of the clearing, and you guys peek your head out through the clearing, and you see on the whortleberry bushes there is a cat-sized red dragon with butterfly wings.
Oh, it's a pseudo dragon.
Yeah, it's a fairy dragon,
Zook's face falls in disappointment as it's not a real dragon.
but it's the only dragon that Rose has ever seen. So to her, it's a dragon.
He kind of just looks at her with his accusatory look, like, you told me it was a real dragon.
And she goes, "Look at it, it's right there."
And he reaches into his bag and pulls out a book, and like flips through it and finds a picture of a real dragon and holds it up to her and points.
I mean, the wings are different, but it looks the same.
And he rolls his eyes like kind of like uncultured and like starts walking into the clearing.
So you walk into the clearing.
Oh no, wait, but we want to follow this thing, don't we? So never mind.
You
I
can
don't
do
do it.
whatever you want.
No, I don't. I don't do that. Never mind.
Okay.
Zook almost. Well, actually, let me see if he forgets.
It's like, all right, let's see how our stealth is. It's awesome. And he just walks right up.
Let me see if he forgets through his disappointment. Okay, that's no, he wouldn't forget. Okay, that's like an 18 for intelligence. Okay, he realizes what he was about to do, and he like stops at the edge and's like, "Oh, wait a second," and then turns around and kind of walks back with the group.
All right, so you guys wait long enough. This dragon is just picking off berries and throwing them in a satchel. And after it gathers up a bunch of them, it picks up the sack and it starts flying out of the clearing. And if you keep your distance, you can follow it fairly easily. And you travel for maybe a half mile, and then the dragon kind of disappears through a clearing, and you guys make your way up to the edge of the clearing. And what you see is the clearing's been transformed with like enchanted, floating, multicolored lights and exotic blooms. A satyr sits on a pile of satin cushions, playing just a soothing tune on his panpipes. Dawn, Norma, the punch-drunk competitor, Elmina, and Tinanye, these the four that you saw earlier in the village, they all lie around him or they're leaning against him, and Elmina's pouring a sweet-smelling liquor from a jug into her goblet, and all the girls around her. All four, they're smiling contentedly, almost euphoric. Their movements are slow, and their eyes are nearly closed. Elmina and Dawn's white dresses are missing, and they're wearing like crudely constructed flower petal gowns, but they don't seem to care, or they don't notice. And all across the open grass, maybe 20 feet away to where they're sitting, tiny glowing pixies are dancing between the blades and in the branches of the trees. You notice directly above the satyr, there's the red fairy dragon lying on its back. It's just rubbing its belly and like plopping whortleberries into its mouth. And the satyr stops playing, and he looks directly at the woodline where you're standing. He smiles and just like thrusts his arms wide. He says, "Welcome to the party, travelers. My name is Finn, and I welcome you to these midsummer celebrations. Have you come to join me in the spirit of the season?"
Well, obviously he knows we're here. So Zook like kind of steps forward, like he's never seen a satyr before either, and he's just enthralled with this being. And he pulls out a notebook and starts writing stuff down.
What's that?
At this point, you see kind of a little like flip notebook in Nicholas's hands. He's writing down everything the satyr is saying.
We're both writing, and then it's just like, you see, this is the kind of thing I have to deal with.
Season festivities. Continue.
I love the party. How much do you drink? I've got a flask right here.
Okay. Well, we can drink plenty. I've got a plentiful supply of whortleberry wine.
Excellent. And what Ender's going to try to do is
whortleberry wine.
basically try to get him to do like a drinking contest.
Okay, so at that he says, "Wonderful! Celebrate with contests and competitions. I love it. Let's drink away."
And if you were watching him right over his shoulder, he's like the flamboyant satyr said. And
So-
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, you're good. What's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say that at this point, he just looks intrigued as they talk about this like drinking contest, and
I said something to the effect of, "Anyone feel like punch drunk?"
yeah,
And
exactly.
I start looking right over at Norma, seeing if I get any kind of response.
So everyone, all the maidens are just like in a stupor. They're kind of just playing around as if they're kind of drunk or on something. Their eyes are almost closed.
Oh, so
in a
they're
daze.
high. Oh, okay.
They're charmed.
This is a real party.
So Ender's plan is to just like outdrink the satyr until we can get the townspeople away from him.
What do I know about satyrs?
Not much. You've never seen one before.
Have I ever read about them?
That one's on you. Have you?
Let me see.
Sounds like a nature check to me.
That would be a 14.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
So with the 14, you know the satyrs are tricksters. You know they like to twist words, but they will be true to their word.
I kind of keep writing, and I'm gonna like mage hand slap Ender, and kind of like get him to like look down at the page, and it's gonna say if you can get him to promise something, he will stick to that promise.
He just doesn't act like he read it, but you can kind of see as he turns back, he winks at you.
And maybe not as nonchalantly, he would give him a wink back, like yeah, boy.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Ah, crap. Okay. Please. Okay, I'll roll on here because oh dang it, I wish I could roll over here. That was a 19, but I'll roll in here so you guys can see it. Because it's part of the story. Oh! No! Wait.
Give me 19. Give me 19.
You gave me a point of inspiration, right?
Oh, and I'll give you another point of inspiration if you don't use it right now.
I won't use it. I'll take it.
Okay, now you have 2.
Like Zook thinks he's being so suave. He's like,
So you think you're winking, like you turn to wink at Ender, but you actually you're winking right as you're looking directly at the satyr. You're like wink, and then you continue turning your face with your eyes closed to Ender.
and then yeah, sorry, go ahead.
The satyr is looking directly at you, and he's like, huh, and he winks right back.
And I kind of like think about this for a second. I'm like, oh crap, he saw it, like in my mind. And I give him another wink back, like, yeah.
And there's just a little wink party going on. Everyone's winking back and forth.
And we're just kind of switching winks back and forth, like playing that game where you do winks back and forth to see you can keep up with the other.
And as Ender walks up to him, he just sees the satyr just like, are you having a stroke?
Party
No,
member
but it looks like
responds, "Are you
Zook is.
having
It looks
a
like Zook's
stroke?"
having a stroke.
Alright, let's do this.
All right. Well, I tell you, drinking is a means to a party. It's not the fun in itself. I will propose contests for you to try and beat me in. What do I want? And it's kind of rubbing his chin. He's like, if I win, what do you have to offer?
I have this fanny pack. It's got some gold in it. I want it.
If I win, I get one item from each of you. From you, as he points at Ender, your boxers.
I need those.
From you, pointing at Zook, I shave your mustache.
Zook
From
kind of looks up in
you.
horror.
At Nicholas, your
Nicholas doesn't have
notebook.
much. He's like, my notebook
And from you,
is asking for notebook.
He writes down.
Writing down everything that is being said.
he's kind of staring at Davis. He goes, and what do you have to offer?
Nothing at all. I have nothing worth offering to you.
The pig.
The
Do you
pig.
have a pig?
Not with me.
As he looks at Ender. No, just kidding.
Back to you. Well, I would. So for the contest, you stay and we party and we have a good time, and every now and then we will compete. What do you want if you win?
The townspeople.
Oh, they're mine. They want to be here.
It does not appear to look that way. It appears as though I can't see any desire being here. They just kind of look, I don't know, a little charmed, if you will.
I am a charming man.
Not that charming.
Zook pipes up, says, "We want a promise."
For each challenge that you win, one maiden.
No. How about best of 5?
One maiden. And he's getting a little bit of tone to his voice now. Or I celebrate alone.
How about, think of it this way, if you win 3, you get all 4 of our items. You don't have to win 4.
I tire of bartering. This is damper on the entire night. Let us drink. We will discuss later.
I say we settle this now, so it's out of
Zook
the
looks
way.
at him. Zook looks at him and says, "Do you promise?"
Yes, yes, yes. I promise we'll talk later.
Promises to talk later. You can just barely hear me like speak as I say it.
I kind of like look at him and I'm like, "Does everyone do this?" It's like look over at everyone else, like.
Alright, what is the first challenge? Who gets to choose?
He looks around. And he says, "Ah, okay. Who is the strongest or fastest among you?"
I think all heads immediately turn to the barbarian.
Yeah, the one wearing the boxers.
He just like
I'm like, well, he
strikes
certainly
a
isn't the
Superman
smartest.
pose and he says, I am aerodynamic.
So he looks you up and down, and then he points behind himself. There's about a 60-foot tall oak tree with branches all throughout. He goes, "First to the top wins."
Alright, and he just goes. He doesn't wait for him to start.
All right. So as you take off, you get the head start, and he's right on your tail. So for this tree climbing, it is going to be a 2-way strength check. Once to get halfway and once to get to the top.
Okay.
By the way, I've got a question. Are satyrs pretty? Can they sense magic very well?
Yes.
Yes. Dang, I
Yes.
can't help on this one then. Sorry, man.
Definitely at your level.
Crap.
Hup,
Okay.
hup.
So you can do athletics check, Dan.
Athletics. 15.
So immediately you start you jump and you go like 3 branches higher than him, and you're pulling yourself up. You make it halfway before he's even a quarter there. And now, see what we do to get to the top. Oh,
16.
all right. So you guys make it. You are closing down, and the satyr starts jumping from branch to branch. And you guys get about 90% of the top, and you're neck and neck. So now we're just going to do an opposed check to see who makes it to the very top.
Crit.
Oh. And you
So he
you
just
see
like grabs it and just goes boom, just monkey jumps all the way up.
perfect. And as you're there, he climbs up the next couple benches and he looks at you. And goes, very well, very well. One maiden is yours. Let us go back. And you guys work your way down the tree.
Do I notice one stop looking as dopey?
Do what?
Do I notice one stop looking as dopey?
Yeah, so at this, you'll notice that Norma, the punch-drunk lady, just kind of comes to, and she's looking around. She's like, what is going on here? And works her way over to Rosa.
Alright, I come down, I'm just like, yes!
I feel bad since I put her to sleep.
Yeah, she sees Zook, and she's like, oh, I'm not as relieved.
I kind of look at her and I'm just like,
So the satyr coaxes you guys into having another glass of whortleberry wine, and then
I give mine to
Do you
Nibble.
have any cranberry juice?
no cranberry juice.
I want to stay focused. I give mine to Nibble.
All right. Now,
Nibble's drunk as you'll ever.
and so the satyr will continue trying just to pull you guys through the night and drink more and more without any further guidance.
As like maybe like an hour passes, I would kind of lean over and say, when's the next competition?
To
To the satyr.
and so he's slightly annoyed at this, and he goes, yes. Okay, in time. All right. Who is the most agile?
Adamon kind of just like, eh?
I think I have you beat on this one, friend.
Oh yeah, you are the rogue. That's true.
Well then, come with me, and he leads you just to the back of the clearing where the river from earlier is. And this is a raging, rushing river. You notice it's probably 25 to 30 feet wide, and there is an island in the middle with a thin stick, like a thin log, branched from the island to each bank. And so he says, whoever can cross this without falling will win. So you'll need to do an acrobatics check
Okay.
while crossing the log, and
Okay.
an acrobatics check while crossing the second log, and then we'll see what happens.
So Davis looks at him sideways. Says, that's the only rule. Whoever crosses this without falling wins.
Well, let me show you. And so the satyr, he
Whoever crosses without falling wins.
He starts running and trotting across the first log, and then he jumps and lands on the island. You notice his hooves slip a little bit, but he has his traction fine, because the island itself is kind of wet. And then as he goes to cross the second log, it cracks, and it doesn't break totally. He falls into the water, and he's rushed maybe 300 meters downstream.
So when that happens, Ender just kind of looks back and forth to the others. And he's just like, should we just grab him and run?
300 meters is very far.
Do I know how strong satyrs are?
No clue.
But they are like kind of like kings of the forest, right?
I would say they're more like mischief makers of the forest. Maybe not the kings.
Okay, well I would tell them that even if we did take them, it wouldn't take them out of their stupor most likely.
Hmm.
You can roll me an insight on that, actually, since you're magically inclined.
Yay!
And I don't mind going ahead and
Oh
make
wait,
my
I'm rolling here.
30-pound self go across these logs.
21.
All right, so you know, actually, that if you remove them long enough from the effects of his music that the stupor and the charm should wear off no problem.
Do they seem like so heavily, well, baked that they wouldn't even be able to run by themselves?
Ender could just... He could fireman carry 2 of them easily.
Yeah, so what's remaining now would be 3 of them, Dawn, Elmina, and Tenanye, so they couldn't, like, full speed run, but you could guide them along with you.
If nothing else, we just carry them.
All right, time to go. Red Ender just like runs over and like scoops up 2 of them. Get the last one. Let's go.
Seeing him
All
run, I
right.
just start like dashing, and I grab one and just like over the shoulder and just like keep going.
So you guys pick all of them up, and the girls they're confused, but they
Okay.
they don't protest. They're still kind of, just like that girl who's had way too much to drink, and they're just kind of not talking, just going with the flow. So you've got them all hoisted over your shoulders, and you start running through the clearing.
As everyone takes off, I grab one of the pitchers of wine and I pour it into my skin, my drinking skin, and cap it and then run after them.
And you guys make it out of the clearing. And as you do, you notice that all the pixies right behind you in the grass, they flitter up into the air, and they're just lighting up the entire area.
Oh crap.
And
Keep
you
running.
hear, you guys are, well, do you like pick up the pace and you're booking it even quicker?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all are cutting through the
Myself and Gnome
woods.
are falling further and further behind in.
I
Yeah.
climb on the back of my unseen servant and have him carry me.
I'm falling further and further behind in.
I hold out my arm extended towards him to grab on.
Oh, I can make that jump. I'll jump up and grab on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying give me a flat dexterity, or just a flat D20. Unless your unseen servant has dex stats.
It doesn't have dex stats. Oh, is that for me?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Okay. Is this just flat dexterity, you said?
Yeah.
14.
All right. So it picks them up, and you're doing okay. So you guys are.
I should probably make a check for the servant because it only has, like, 2 strength.
Oh, I'm gonna get there.
Oh, okay, good.
So, as far as dexterity, you pick up Davis, and there's no issue.
We're
And
sitting on the
you make
shoulders. Yeah.
it, you make it probably 4 or 5 steps on the servant, and then let me see.
Servant, I believe in you.
There it is. All right, let's see what happens. All right, so on that 5th step, the servant's knees just buckle, and
Wait, did you roll a strength check for him?
he was gonna fail on strength. I was gonna
Dang
wait to
it.
see.
Okay.
I was gonna wait to see what happens.
Okay, cool. Dang it.
So he buckles, and you guys go flying. You hit a tree. You don't take any damage, but you're kind of shook up. And by the time you both recover, there's probably 60 feet between you and the rest of the party, and it's rapidly growing.
Yeah! I look at my halfling
Time to
friend. I'm
hide.
like, we can do this.
And I
And
look at him and go, you can do this. And I'm running.
Yeah, I start sprinting after him.
so a pixie lands on your shoulder, Zook, and it's flying right beside Davis's head. You both have a pixie following you, kind of like beacon spotlights for you.
I mage hand it away.
So this pixie is like, get the stuff your shoulder for you.
It's like it's almost like an invisible fly swatter slaps it in the face. And then I do the same for Davis.
Now, as these pixies are getting brushed away, for the front guys in the group, that would be Nicholas and Ender, you have 5 or 6 pixies just duck down on the road in front of you, and they're all flashing, dancing lights at you. So y'all are blinded, and they're attempting to turn you to your right.
I keep just
Um,
rushing through them.
Yeah.
All right.
I
You
never
can make
get. I get a real quick like quarterstaff swipe at them.
All right, and then the pixies again, another 30 feet down the road. They flash again, trying to turn you, dancing lights.
Same thing.
Same thing?
Quarterstaff swipe. Keep going. Are we on a
Alright.
path now, or are we like still running through the woods?
Blind through the woods.
Do we know
Now-
what rough direction we're going? Like if we're going the rough direction of town?
You guys feel that you're generally heading towards town, yes.
Alright, we keep going.
By
As
now
he's
you're
running, Ender would look up to the sky to try to figure out roughly what compass direction we're going.
So by now, you guys are about 80 feet ahead of the remainder of the group, and you break through a clearing in the trees, and you realize maybe 35 feet in front of you is a completely sheer drop-off. Not a total cliff, but it's at least a 50-foot drop to the next level of forest.
For the would we have counted that getting inebriated as a short rest?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
So you guys are at a standstill up there, and you hear rapid pitter-patter of small, tiny feet catching up with you.
What do I see as I look to my left and right?
So to your left, the ridge extends, and to the right, further down, you see that it starts sloping towards the ground. By approximately another 200 meters, you should be able to make your way down.
Do I see the town anywhere, or any sign of the town?
So this does allow you a bit of a peek over the trees. You can't see the town itself, but you can see smoke off in the distance. You feel that you're maybe about halfway through the forest.
Did we catch up to them now?
Yeah, you guys bust out of the clearing.
Okay.
Is the smoke coming towards the side that has a slope?
So directly down the slope with you. So if you're looking down the cliff, you're looking at the town.
Okay, so then I can take the slope down the series of cliffs, and then just keep going in that direction. And we can make it.
Yeah. So if you make it down the steep ledge, then you're heading the right direction.
So yeah, it's all right. Let's do that.
So you guys are generally trending right, but the pixies were actually trying to say, "Hey, don't run off this cliff."
Oh, I thought they were working for the satyr. Anyways. But I have an idea. I cast Tensor's Floating Disc, which is a 3-foot by 3-foot disc that it can hold up to 500 pounds, and it sits 2 feet off the ground. And I'm gonna cast it right on the edge of the cliff, so it's sitting there. And I'm gonna say, "Everybody on! Everybody on!"
Let's go.
So it can hold 500 pounds.
Okay, let me think. No.
Ender's like 200 pounds.
Okay, yeah, the weight shouldn't be an issue. Cool. So you guys all get on it. I want each person to roll me a dexterity check, an acrobatics check.
Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
I'm looking at probably an 8.
I'm looking at a 17.
I'm looking at a 6.
Okay, I'm gonna give an inspiration to my friend here.
All right.
I'm assuming that's me.
Yes, the one who rolled horribly.
Okay, that's better. That's a 17.
Okay. So I got a 17 also.
17, so, all right, so you all crowd onto it. Dan, just barely. Wait, Dan, what was yours?
15.
Okay, cool, yeah. Yeah, so you all crowd onto the disc, and you are balanced on it for now with no problem.
So yeah, it's like I took a metal ball bearing out of my pocket and it flattened into a metal disc when I pumped electricity into it, and I kind of toss it out like a frisbee and it just floats there. And we all climb onto it, and we're all group hugging so we don't fall off.
And as you guys all engage on the group hug, the fairy dragon has burst out of the clearing, and you see a odorous, gaseous blast of breath heading your way, encompassing all of you.
Let's go.
So everyone make a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh, I'm good at these. Okay, 15 still.
All right.
21.
Good.
9.
All right. And
Yeah,
Dan?
not good.
Shit.
Let's see. Did we freeze on Dan?
Dan's unresponsive at the moment. Please call him back at a later time.
Right.
Is it a fear effect?
Hey, there he is. I think it's a charm or knockout or something like that.
It's so you'll roll a die at the start of each turn to determine your action.
Oh, wonderful.
Crap.
Wonderful.
So hey Dan, you got a wisdom saving throw?
We've got 2 Dans now. Well, I guess this is the ender.
All right. Well, we'll wait on Dan. Jim does not make the cut, so Jim, you breathe in part of this breath, and it tastes like wildflowers. It tastes surprisingly good. It's not noxious like you expected. And I want you to roll me a d6.
Two.
So you get no action or bonus action, and you use all your movement to head back into the forest.
I grab onto him and say, "No, you don't."
All right, roll me a opposed strength check, both of you.
18. Let me see if I have a mod real quick. No, I don't. Okay, 18.
11.
All right, so you hold to him,
But no, you don't. Get over here.
but with the struggle, I will want just Nicholas to roll me a dexterity check to stay on the balance.
Check. That's
Or dex save, whatever, whichever one's better for you.
okay. If that's the case, I think I have a 9.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I give him my other inspiration.
All right, burn the last one.
That's better. That's a 10.
Oh
All right.
my gosh.
So you hold on to him, but you don't fall off the cliff, but you fall like onto the ground right by the disc.
Can I clamber back on and kind of like set him? I'm like, somebody hold him as I kind of clamber back on.
Now, before you can get up, I'm gonna have everyone roll initiative just to see if we can manage to get off.
Oh, I'm so ready.
There's Dan. Hey Dan,
Hey!
you got a wisdom saving throw?
I got a 14.
All right, you're good.
Let's see, my initiative. Not
Oh,
fun.
roll initiative right now? Okay.
Yeah, because the dragon's right here. He's gonna.
Woo,
It's gonna-
20. Dice Stream loves me. Holy cow, 22 initiative, nice. You have the most, like, I don't care look on your face right now that's trapped there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's awesome. That's
Is it
exactly the
still-
way I imagine Ender feeling right now. It's like, this is such a hassle.
He's just got women on either shoulder, and he's like, this Monday. Come on.
It's Monday.
So what do we got for you, Davis?
3.
23.
Wow,
Nice.
that's really high initiative.
All right, so the dragon is 19, so everyone but Nicholas gets to go. So where we are right now Davis and Nicholas have fallen on their face right in front of the disc. And we will have Davis go first. Now, so you need to roll me one more d6.
Do I get to make a save at the beginning or end of my turn?
Yeah, so this d6 determines your save.
Okay. 3.
So the way the mechanic is, 1 through 4, you don't get actions and you just move. But if you roll a 5 or a 6, you roll a save to end it.
All right.
So no action, no bonus action. This is movement in a random direction. And
I'm holding on to him.
And yeah, that's true. So roll me a strength check for both of you again. Opposed strength check.
Yeah, 11 again.
12.
Okay, so
It's getting a
you
little bit
want to
more
move,
difficult, but I'm doing it.
but Nicholas saves you from moving away. So you're still there, Davis. Now, Ender. These two guys are laying on the ground. You guys are trying to make your getaway on the disc.
Okay, so is the disc moving?
No, it doesn't move until I kind of like push it off the edge or something. So it'll move. It will remain within 20 feet of me at all times.
Okay.
But if I push it off an edge, it falls slowly.
Oh.
It's like having feather fall.
We're trying to get me and Davis back onto the disc.
Okay. So Ender kind of like thinks this whole situation over in his head, and he reaches into his fanny pack and he produces like a butterfly jar. He's like, "Don't ask," and he goes to try to get the fairy dragon into the jar.
Nice.
All right.
This is gonna be great.
So is it like a grapple or?
Yeah, roll me a grapple.
All right.
Opposed athletics.
Oh, 20.
All right, you
23.
you get the dragon secured, but it's a cat-sized dragon. So unless you've got a giant jar,
Okay.
I don't know if.
Okay, I didn't know how big it was.
I mean, you could have maybe grab the rope off of Nicholas or something if you want.
I guess instead of the butterfly jar, he
I
would
dump
kind
out
of
my
try
I
to.
dump out my scholar's pack and toss it to him.
Okay.
Yeah, he'd like try to get it into the bag and like. Now the dragon is in the bag. The cat-sized dragon in the bag.
Don't let the cat out of the bag.
All right. So we'll say that you guys have the dragon in the bag, and this gives you all a chance to get back on the disc. We'll do one group dexterity check with whoever has the best dexterity to see if you guys secure it.
Well, I have a nat 19 plus 3 is 22.
All right, so we will go with that. Everyone gets on the. You get on the disc right as all the pixies and the satyr bust out of the clearing, and they points directly at you.
All right, so what Ender does is he's pointing at me. He's gonna shot put the fairy dragon in the bag right at him. He's gonna like literally just like stand there and like start spinning like somebody's doing a discus throw or something, and like let loose the dogs of war.
The cat-sized dragons of war with butterfly wings.
Zook looks kind of sad. That was his favorite bag.
So the satyr's
Come out of my
pointing.
fanny pack, he says.
The satyr's pointing directly at you, and all of a sudden this backpack comes flying right at him, and let's roll for him. And so he takes this backpack straight to the face, just goes rolling in a like over and over, head over heels, back into the woods, as you guys tip the disc off the cliff.
And he gets on back on the disc like Washington crossing the Delaware, and he just points. Go!
Onward!
Go.
And Zook.
Infinity
kind
and
of-
beyond.
So
Yeah.
you guys make it to the bottom, Featherfall with no difficulty, and now the pixies are floating down, but the satyr's nowhere to be seen, and you guys make it through. Let's see. Nice. You guys make it through, and you encounter 2 more of the suitors on the way back, but other than that, you make it back to the village, and you return the women. So you make it into the village. Royce meets you at the clearing, and you relay everything that has happened. By now, the charm has worn off of them, and they're walking alongside you. So they're relaying the story, telling of all your heroic deeds. And Elmina, she steps forward. She walks by and pinches Ender on the butt through his boxers,
He's
but
like, "Oh."
she stops right in front of Zook. She bends down and picks him up and puts a big, like, passionate French kiss all up in his business.
Zook's like, his
He
eyes are
says,
like
"I
wide.
think my long night has been successful." True
Zook's
love-
eyes are like, holy crap, what is going on?
You're muted, Ty.
Oh. Zook's eyes are wide, and his face is like, what the crap? Did I drink too much wine? Like, he's like, this is strange. And then he's just kind of like, he kind of looks over his shoulder at the other guys and gives them a wink.
And their winks back.
And then we end with everyone doing a long wink session. And Royce walks up, hobbling with his injured knee, and he's winking left and right against everyone, back and forth.
Yeah!
He says, "You'll be welcome in our village forever." Oink.
Go Zook!
And that's what I got for you guys. The long night is now over.
Dude, awesome. I like the part that the smallest guy ends up with the girl. That was awesome.
Yeah, I view Elmina like she's the bitchiest, but she's the sexiest.
Yeah, man. Zook's okay. Oh man, that was awesome. That was fun.
So yeah, I mean that's all I got for you guys. That was a blast. As you see, it's light on combat. It's more fun for the role play and the checks. But you guys turned it awesome. I'm really pleased with how that went down.
Yeah, that was fun. Usually I don't really like things that are kind of low combat, but that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's hard to make first level characters fun, but I'm glad you guys really got into it.
Yeah, that's kind of how you gotta go when you have first level characters. So it's usually like a lot of role playing.
And shameless plug for Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
So Ty, I don't know if you want to do an outro or
Yeah,
if we want to go character by character. Want to plug anything?
Yeah, we can do a quick outro. So I am DM Ty. I was playing Zook today. You can check out my channel, DM Ty. I mean, this will be there. But I just want to plug the OSG, the Tabletop One-Shot Group. It's an awesome place filled with awesome people. Made this all possible. And yeah, I had a super fun time today. Loved playing with all of you guys. Loved playing with Zook, and hope to play with you guys again. So we can just shift over to Jim then, I guess.
Cool. Well, I'm Jim, and my channel's The Lloyd Your Bob. You can see it right down here. And yeah, big huge shout out to the Tabletop One Shot Group. How we found each other. On my channel, you can find a lot of the stuff I do for hobbies, whether it's music or the games I run or have been lucky enough to play in. In fact, this one I'll end up linking into those playlists. And yeah, dude, super thank you for running the game.
Yeah, and then we can shift over to Garrett.
Plug for the One Shot Group. I will make another plug for the movie Hot Fuzz. Wherever my little emblem thing is, that's the picture of the main character, Nicholas Angel, who I enjoyed playing this. I'm starting to enjoy playing monks. I thought it would fit for him.
Yeah, my channel is Dead Day 201, and I probably don't have much on there. So yeah, that's that.
Awesome. On to Dan.
Had a lot of fun, guys. Just want to thank Dave for running a good game. Usually, first level games are kind of hard to get right, but I think it went really well. So I appreciate that. That's all I got.
All right. All right, Dave, take it away.
All right, guys. Yeah, again, thanks everyone for coming here. I had a big blast DMing this, so I look forward to doing more. You guys would like, I think, anything I'm going to be DMing, we're going to throw up on DM Ty's channel. So feel free. He's got some campaigns going there. And I should have a good homebrew coming up soon as well, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, awesome. And I had tons of fun, guys. I would love it if anyone, like, I want to echo that. If you see any of my games up, please feel free to join. I had a fun time playing with all of you. And, yeah, that's where we'll end it, I guess. So, I guess